the hour. Your home for original reporting.
I'm Steve Kathan. Defense Secretary Hegseth boasts that a U.S. blockade of Iran's ports will last as long as it takes.
No one sails from the Strait of Hormuz to anywhere in the world without the permission of the United States Navy.
And he repeated President Trump's vow to shoot and kill ships that attempt to lay mines in the strait. CBS's Nancy Cordes on the prospect for any new U.S. deal with Iran.
The president repeatedly yesterday seemed to be looking to buy more time. He said, don't rush me. I'd rather get a good deal. I could walk away now, but I don't want to. And that, yes, Americans are paying more for gasoline, but it's worth it because I'm preventing the Iranians from building and using a nuclear weapon.
The Justice Department says it's dropping its criminal investigation into Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell. CBS's Linda Kenyon.
Federal prosecutor Jeanine Pirro announced she's dropping the probe. On social media, she stated instead the Federal Reserve Inspector General will investigate cost overruns for renovations to the Federal Reserve headquarters. The Inspector General has twice reviewed the project and found no wrongdoing. Dropping the criminal investigation helps clear the way for the Senate to confirm a successor to Jerome Powell, whose term as chairman expires next month.
Officials in northern Oklahoma say a tornado damaged or destroyed more than 40 homes in one county. Some people were injured, others trapped in their homes and had to be rescued. In southern Georgia, CBS's Mark Strassman has more on wildfires that have destroyed dozens of homes.
Rural South Georgia is battling a pair of wildfires roughly 65 miles apart. Miraculously, no lives lost. But Brantley County's fire has incinerated more than 80 structures. Hundreds more are at risk.
A court appearance is set for today for Special Ops soldier Gannon Ken Van Dyke, who's charged with using classified information to win more than $400,000 in an online prediction market. CBS's Nicole Skanga says he was involved in the capture of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro.
According to the indictment, Van Dyke placed 13 Maduro and Venezuela-related bets over roughly 6 days. The soldier also allegedly took steps to conceal his identity. Just 3 days after Maduro's capture, Van Dyke asked Polymarket to delete his account. Then prosecutors say he switched the email associated with his profile.
First Lady Melania Trump says she's adding a beehive to join two others on the south grounds of the White House. The existing ones produce more than 200 pounds of honey a year. Wall Street, right now the Dow is down 61 points. The S&P is trading higher. This is CBS News.
It's one of the most successful law and justice programs in television history that continues to uncover the truth. 48 Hours, Saturday on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
We are going to go straight to traffic because it has been that kind of morning. Renton to Bellevue is still running 66 minutes, and that's even after an earlier car fire got partially cleared. One right lane northbound 405 is still blocked at 112th Street Southeast. There was another crash northbound near the Maple Valley Highway. We are checking to see if that has cleared, but it is a really tough slog, and our alternate routes are slammed too. Federal Way to Seattle is still 54 minutes. It's usually about 45 or less, a lot less on a Friday light. Linwood to Bellevue, comparatively 41 minutes. Linwood to Seattle, 31 minutes. We've just had a lot of collisions today, so really be patient. We're backing up on 167, just going back to that Renton area. And we're also seeing some issues merging on to I-90 from 405. Nothing blocking, just a little bit of a delay there. But the good news is that the lake bridges are clear. It is very clear getting through Kirkland, out of Bothell. And of course, if you move farther north, it is a smooth sailing to the Canadian border. This report brought to you by the Seattle Sports. Search Seattle Sports on YouTube and click subscribe to get fresh video content daily.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Jillian Raftery. Later today, taxpayers get their chance to let the King County Regional Homelessness Authority know how they feel after a new audit revealed the agency lost track of $13 million. The agency's board is holding a board meeting this afternoon to respond to those audit findings and discuss what to do next. At a press conference at City Hall yesterday, King County Council member Rod Demowski announced he's drafting legislation to get rid of the agency.
The tool that was set up has been given more chances than it deserves at this point, and it has failed again and again and again.
The agency now also has a $45 million budget shortfall. A fresh face on an old scam. Police in Bothell tell KIRO 7 TV that scammers are looking up building permits and contacting people to pay up to get that project, keep it going.
And this is just one of many phishing-type scams that's occurring throughout our region.
Police say to call the city departments to verify directly. In Tacoma, police are trying to find out what happened to a man found shot to death in the Hilltop neighborhood last night. This happened around 9 p.m. near J Street and 11th. No arrests have been made. 2 other people shot in the middle of the day outside a Southside convenience store survived. Detectives say the owner of Park Avenue Foods and another man were shot. They believe one or both of them shot the other. And here's your good news for the day. The Seahawks have a new running back.
Hello?
Jadarian.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, bud? John Schneider with the Seahawks.
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, we're getting ready to pick you right here, brother.
Jadarian Price of Notre Dame is widely considered the number 2 running back in the draft class. Draft coverage continues on mynorthwest.com/sports. Now we're going to check your weather forecast, and it's going to be a nice Friday. Mainly sunny, 64 degrees, and completely sunny tomorrow with a high of 66. It's 48 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Okay, it is Fresh Fridays here on the Gee and Ursula Show. Brother Nick started off with some funk. I want to see. I'm going to just challenge Nick to keep it funky all show long.
We'll keep this bad boy grooving tonight. How about that?
All right. It is. Ooh, Ursula. I see the sun. I see it peeking. And I see it speaking. Good morning, Ursula.
It is speaking to my soul.
Let's go.
And I understand that there is even a chance that we might be done with rain, which is good news for folks like me who would get sick of the rain. Not great for when we're talking about potential drought and that kind of thing. But in any case, the good weather is here for the next couple of days.
Let's go.
For sure.
Let's go.
Feeling really good. Hey, do you remember that box of King County ballots that were found mysteriously near a Renton dumpster?
Uh-huh.
So the feds and local police are now investigating, but this has brought up all sorts of questions and concerns from some about how secure ballots actually are. So coming up at 9:30, King County Elections Director Julie Wise is going to join us on the Gee and Ursula Show. As always, we invite you to make your thoughts known on our Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. I just remembered, we've got another guest who's going to be coming in studio to answer some tough questions.
Who's that?
King County Council member Rod Demowski is going to be coming back. He's going to be back on the hot seat because, he's calling for something. After that bombshell audit about the King County Regional Homelessness Authority came out yesterday. So we're going to have some questions for him, too.
Yeah, and he also needs to respond to the new revelations that came out about the King County Regional Housing Authority, too. So Luke Ducey will join us today to tell us about that.
Yes.
And then we'll have my main man, Rob Demowski, respond to that.
So we've got a super packed show for you.
All right, let's get to it. Top stories of the day brought to you by Pittergas Law.
The Seahawks had a chance to trade their pick, right, G?
Yes, they did.
Maybe stockpile more players, but instead they stayed right where they were and made a very intentional choice. With the final pick in the first round, they took running back Jadarian Price out of Notre Dame. And apparently he's someone they believe can help replace the spark they lost when Kenneth Walker III left.
Hello?
Jadarian.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, bud? John Schneider with the Seahawks.
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, we're getting ready to pick you right here, brother.
Yes, sir.
And we're really excited for you, man. All your stuff throughout the spring was outstanding. It's so fun watching you play, and, man, we can't wait to make you a Seahawk, bud.
Appreciate you.
Man.
Okay.
You heard it.
As always, you worked the draft, and so you were there.
Yeah.
So tell us about him. Tell us about this whole process, the thinking behind it, all of it.
Well, first of all, 2 years in a row, Ursula, the experts said that this player was going to be a Seahawk. Last year, it was Gray Zabel. All the experts says, hey, the Seahawks are picking Gray Zabel. Guess what? Seahawks picked Gray Zabel. Yesterday, in the draft, all the experts beforehand said the Seahawks would pick Jadarian Price. JP, y'all, because, ain't no way in the world I'm going to keep calling him Jadarian. So JP, you can do that. Guess what? The Seahawks picked JP. He's out of Notre Dame. Mm-hmm. He was the backup running back to Jeremiah Love. Jeremiah Love was picked early in the first round. This kid is from Texas. He was a 4-star recruit. He was really good. He rushed for 4,900 yards, nearly 5,000 yards. Is that good? Yes. In Texas, phenomenal.
Right.
Right? He comes to Notre Dame. And when he comes to Notre Dame, he ruptures his Achilles tendon.
Oh.
And if anybody is listening right now and have ruptured their Achilles tendon,
it's a long recovery.
It's a long recovery.
Yeah.
Right? Real deal Holyfield. So the thing that really stands out about this young man is, yes, he was a good player. Now, during that time, he now is a backup. So in the world of name, image, likeness, and you hear about a lot of kids transferring all the time, always jumping in the transfer portal to go transfer. Not this young man. This young man stayed there, stuck it out, even though he was not a starter and a backup. He could have left for pride. He could have left for money, but he stayed and stuck it out. The interesting thing is I talked about this last night at the draft party, and then after, John Schneider and Mike McDonald go to talk about the draft pick, and guess what they talked about? They talked about they liked the fact that he didn't transfer. So really excited to have JP here. One last takeaway, the party at Mopop was phenomenal. The Seahawks had the Super Bowl winning trophy there. Fans are getting to take pictures with the trophy. That was cool. We had guests. We had Gray Zabel. He was there. Devin Witherspoon. He was there. We had amazing guests that was there. But the thing that really stands out about yesterday's draft to me was it's a reminder that the Seahawks aren't doing anything fancy. Mm-hmm. They're keeping it simple. It's a KISS theory. The KISS theory is keep it simple, stupid, right? And they're not trying to do anything fancy. And the last thing, when you see Mike McDonald and John Schneider, they always look like they're on the same page, and they don't even have to speak about it.
Okay, you saying that, was that not the case when Pete Carroll was coach?
I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
I'm saying that when you see John Schneider and Mike McDonald, you see them and you can really see, like, man, you can just see the connection between those two. And right now, the Rams in their pick, who are in the division, their head coach hadn't even met with their quarterback that they picked at number 13, so you can already tell that there's some miscommunications there. All I'm saying is it just looks like that the Seahawks are on one page. Very cool. Well, I'm excited for him. Yeah. And hopefully that injury doesn't continue to plague him in his career. Hopefully he's fully recovered. Well, Microsoft is trying something that we almost never see in big tech, G, and it's happening right here. This is according to a report from Todd Bishop at GeekWire. The company is offering a one-time voluntary retirement package to thousands of its employees. This targets the more experienced workers, those whose age and years at Microsoft add up to 70 or more. And again, what makes this unusual is that early retirement programs are common in older industries, but not tech. And Todd Bishop says this also comes as Microsoft continues to spend very heavily on artificial intelligence.
They are spending so much on capital expenses that they have to show Wall Street that they're doing everything they can to reduce one of their other big line items, their operating expenses, their HR costs.
So about 7% of Microsoft's U.S. workforce could be eligible for this early retirement buyout. Mm-hmm. And once notified, these employees would have just 30 days to decide. Well, since, our listeners love it when we talk about football to start the show, I'm going to keep driving football points right home. Oh, right? It sounds like someone wasn't happy with this. Yeah, okay, I gotcha. Eat a Snicker bar. So in football, sometimes you might hear about the team offering a buyout
for some of the players. And what they want to do is like, hey, look, you're owed this by another year or two. How about we pay you this right now? And so this is a way of Microsoft has been in the news for doing what lately? Laying off folks.
Yeah, was it like 10,000 last year?
15,000.
Yeah, 15,000.
So let's do it a different way. Hey, everybody, let's do some buyouts. So let's do it that way, and so it looks better. And by the way, if Boss Lady and them are listening right now, and they want to say, Gee, you want a buyout? Yeah. I'll take a buyout.
But you got to make it worth your while.
Yeah, you got to make it worth my while.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
If you're really wanting me to go off into the sunset and be happy about it and say it's really my choice.
Yeah.
You gotta sweeten that deal.
Okay. So look, I got one for you. See, you weren't ready for this. I say these questions. I got one for you. Okay. So let's just say, Ursula, you have a 2 to 3 year contract, whatever it is, right? Let's just say. I'm just saying. And they came to you and say, hey, Ursula, this is what you're owed by the end of your contract, 100%. We will give you 85% of everything you owed right now. Sign this paper, and you could take 85% right now. Would you do it? And it goes for everybody else.
And where? Yeah. Don't be too specific with me.
Yeah.
Okay. And where am I in this? In these? I mean, so
let's say it's both of us. Both of us.
Yeah.
Let's just say
I love this job too much.
Okay, this is what I'm telling you. If they said, G,
yeah,
you're gonna make 100%.
Is you're saying
you could buy me at 85% right now? I'll settle out of court.
85%?
85%.
Like I want 100%.
Give me 85%.
Yeah, give me a, and then you don't have to work the duration.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes. But remember, this also affects your Social Security. This also this affects a whole lot of things.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. So it's not just.
Do you want to lay off?
No.
See, that's
no.
In the NFL,
see, this is what's wonderful for Microsoft. It's a way to spin it, like make it voluntary. Because we've already done all the layoffs, and these are the big. So it's signaling to investors. Yes, we hear you. We're spending a lot on AI, but we also are going to be continuing to look for ways to reduce our expenditures. And where's the biggest spot? Obviously, payroll.
In the NFL, that's what they do. Hey, Charles. You want to take a pay cut? Charles like, no, I'm not taking a pay cut. Next thing they know, they get cut.
Yeah, and I know that I didn't answer directly the question that you asked, but you got to remember, I'm just too close. It's too close to home. Okay, you maybe have seen those ads promising easy crypto money. Well, state regulators are saying that should be your first red flag. Be wary. According to new reporting from the Seattle Times, state regulators are now cracking down on a network of 38 fake trading platforms accused of scamming investors out of, get this, nearly $10 million. So these companies were luring people in with free online investment classes. They were often dressed up as legit education foundations. But then there was the hook. They would encourage users to try a few small, just do a couple of test trades using AI-generated signals that appeared to work. And then people started putting in real monies, bigger amounts. Unfortunately, investigators say the platforms were fake. And so investors were shown profits on the screen, but when they tried to actually cash out, they were hit with surprise fees to unlock their money, and many paid and still never saw a dime. So state officials say some of the worst offenders were platforms like Circor and Zenith. They account for more than $7 million in losses alone. And maybe a handful of Washington residents were able to get, actually not a single investor, except one who withdrew only a small amount, was able to get their money back.
Okay. This is sad. It's terrible. But here's a reminder. In 2025, Americans reportedly, they lost around $16 billion to fraud. In the state of Washington alone, $460 million last year to fraud. So this AI stuff, and to the point of your story, and this is why it's so important that you're bringing it up, with this AI, the thing is look, scamming been scamming for years. The difference is the AI is like 10 scammers all at once. So if we're hearing about 16 billion from fraud from Americans in 2025, there is a good chance AI will have this double in the next couple years.
Oh, absolutely. That's where I think job growth is fighting fraud when it comes to AI. The state has now ordered all 38 of the platforms to shut down. Many of them are facing big fines. But reminder to everybody that if an investment opportunity feels just too easy, to say easy money, it probably is a scam. And I got to admit something. Because I think you feel really comfortable, and a lot of young people feel really comfortable with this whole idea of crypto. I still don't fully trust or understand crypto.
I don't rock with
other
crypto.
Than it's digital money.
No. I do not rock with crypto.
No. Anytime someone starts to talk about it, I immediately have scam alert, or my eyes start glazing over. I'm like.
And by the way, I'm not discouraging or encouraging. I'm just saying that I personally don't rock with crypto.
If someone is trying to sell me on crypto, I'm like, hard pass. And if I ever decide to understand it, it'll be on my terms.
There's folks in the federal government that rock with crypto, though.
I'm steering clear.
Okay.
I'm steering clear.
Choose joy.
I still choosing joy. Exactly. And I'm still the one that likes to go into the bank.
Okay. What else you got?
Okay. This one I think is going to require a longer segment, but let's start. Because you remember we talked about this fight over the new principal at Adams Elementary in Seattle's Ballard neighborhood?
Yeah.
Well, it's no longer just about the principal. And again, this is another story out of the Seattle Times. Parents packed this week's school board meeting after the Seattle School District appointed Anitra Jones to lead Adams. Now, she was previously the principal at Rainier View Elementary, where staff accused her of creating a toxic workplace. And then this is another important part. A state labor agency found that she unlawfully retaliated against employees for their union activities. But what is new this morning is the superintendent's response, Gee. So the superintendent, Ben Schuldener, said this was after, and I think he said these comments during the meeting. Yeah. He said he was sad and uneasy about how some of the parents behaved at what was a very tense community meeting. He said the constant interruptions of both him and the new principal were unacceptable. And he also pointed to the racial dynamic. He says it was a largely white parent audience challenging a black principal. Mm-hmm. And he said they were, in some cases, being downright rude. And the parents say they're not objecting to who Jones is. They just don't understand why she's been placed at that elementary school, even with what the district knows about her history.
Yeah.
So the district is saying, hey, she completed required training, and they have legal and contractual obligations around her placement.
Yeah. So, Ursula, we say this all the time. We say that both things can be true.
Gee, you and I did not talk about this before the show. And what did I tell you right before I walked in here? I said, funny, I think both things can be true.
It's not rocket science.
Yes.
Both things can be true.
Yes.
And let me start with the concern, right? I'm sure that there are parents in that room that have real concern for their kids. And by the way, you know what parents do a lot? They have concern for their kids.
Yes.
Okay. So you got that. I also have been around 50 years in life. I also sometimes see this text line. There's a thing called microaggression that happens quite often, right? You got some folks in there that they might even have concern. They just dislike her for how she looks. They might dislike her for her tone and the way she answered a question.
Yeah, someone said she talked too slowly.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So you got that. That's awful and that's wrong. But there's a third thing I want to talk about. I want to talk about dear superintendent and leadership. Hey, why don't you think about next time understanding the probability of that happening? What do you think was going to happen when you placed that principal in front of everyone? You know what should have happened? You should have had the principal off to the side and had you, leadership, answer those questions. They're asking questions about her. That format for that principal was a lose-lose situation the entire time.
I agree.
Lose-lose.
That just would have been so awkward. And they're still dealing with now a principal that is coming in under a cloud of controversy.
Still. Okay. Good stuff, Ursula. Man, we didn't even talk about that. Two things could be true. You know what? We love to get to the bottom of facts. And, you know, what's his name? Walsh? What's his name?
Jim Walsh.
Jim Walsh.
State Republican Party chair.
State Republican Party. That dude made some comments about voter fraud, right? It has some video. So we're going to bring on the director of King County Elections, Julie Wise, to discuss next. Gee Ursula.
Local news from local voices you trust.
Flights out of Joint Base Lewis McChord.
KIRO Newsradio.
Questions about whether the Pentagon is deploying special forces to the Middle East.
The news you depend on.
Gas prices up 25 cents in the last week.
Conversation.
Then all of a sudden, Trump comes out, hey, we're having productive talks.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM. Streaming everywhere on the KIRO Newsradio app.
Gas prices are at record highs. Markets are volatile. And if you're retired or close to it, I know what you're thinking. Is my plan strong enough for what's coming? Most financial plans aren't built for times like these. They're built for the good times. And that's a problem. That's why one of the Northwest's best-known retirement attorneys, Rajiv Nagayach with LifePoint Law, is personally leading seminars where you'll learn why the planning you've already done may not be enough and what a real retirement plan looks like when your healthcare, housing, legal protection, and finances all work together. No sales pitch, no obligation, just 90 minutes that could change the way you think about your future and give you the peace of mind that you won't run out of money or become a burden on your family.
Attend a free LifePoint Law retirement seminar in Puyallup on May 5th, Federal Way on May 6th, Bellevue on May 7th, or Linwood on May 12th. Seminars begin at 6:30 p.m. Seats are limited, so register now at lifepointlaw.com. That's lifepointlaw.com.
Hartley Wilcox here. For over 100 years, my family has been committed to doing what's right. We believe food should be honest and wholesome. At Wilcox Farms, that starts with caring for our hens. They roam healthy pastures and enjoy a diet of organic grains and flaxseed. Why does that matter? Because what hens eat determines the quality of the eggs you eat. Our nature-first approach means vibrant golden yolks, richer flavor, and higher omega-3s for your family's health. When you choose Wilcox, you're not just buying eggs. You're supporting a farm that values animal welfare, sustainability, and community. It's real nutrition, real care, and real value. So next time you're at the egg case, look for Wilcox Family Farms eggs. Taste the difference that starts with what our hens eat. Wilcox Family Farms, locally fresh since 1909.
D.R. Horton's National Red Tag Sales Event is going on right now through May 3rd. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. Visit drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
When the dollar's convertibility into gold ended in 1971, gold was fixed at $35 an ounce. Fast forward to today, and the U.S. dollar has lost over 85% of its purchasing power. Meanwhile, gold has increased in value by over 12,000%. Central banks are buying gold at record levels. Major firms are holding significant positions in gold. And I choose to buy gold from Birch Gold Group. It's Dan Bongino, and it all starts with education. Birch Gold just announced their Learn and Earn Precious Metals event. This free online event rewards you for learning the basics of investing in precious metals. Sign up to get free silver on your next purchase if you qualify. And you can get even larger incentives as you go. The more you learn, the more you can earn. But act now. This special event only runs through April 30th. So text my name, Dan, to the number 989898 to join Birch Gold's Learn and Earn Precious Metals event by April 30th. Text Dan to 989898 today. Message and data rates may apply.
I just can't dig it.
Dig what?
My water line.
Needs replacing?
And I don't want digging in my yard.
And maybe your driveway.
Can't dig it.
Don't dig it.
But how do you?
Apollo Plumbing replaces water lines without digging up your yard.
You're Dan.
From the Ready Right Now plumbers.
Apollo Plumbing.
Our trenchless technology replaces water and sewer lines.
Without digging up my yard?
2 little holes is all it takes.
Sounds better.
Faster, too.
And my yard?
Like we were never there.
Sounds spendy.
Not so much.
Oh?
In the end, about the same as that messy digging you don't want.
How do you figure?
Think about that landscaping you love.
Yeah?
Trenchless means you won't be paying to replace it.
Or my driveway.
We run everything underground.
Trenchless?
Do them all the time.
How about...
Easy payments?
Yeah.
With approved credit. Sure thing.
When can you get started?
We are the Ready Right Now plumbers.
Love that.
Apollo Plumbing, trenchless waterline replacement.
Sewer lines, too.
Can you dig that?
That I can.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
If you're over 62 and feel squeezed by rising monthly bills, listen carefully. I'm Steve Teitler, owner of Best Mortgage. Every week I talk with seniors who love their home, want to stay in it, but feel more financial pressure every month. Property taxes are adding up. Insurance is up. Everyday bills are up, and for some, they still have a mortgage payment on top of all of that. Are you worried about outliving your savings? A reverse mortgage could help by eliminating your mortgage payment, paying off debt, and giving you breathing room every month. Now, let me be clear, it's not right for everyone. But for the right person, it can be a powerful tool. When you call Best Mortgage for a free consultation, you'll talk directly with me. I'll explain your options and tell you honestly if it makes sense for your situation. If you're 62 or older and want straight answers about staying in your home with less financial stress, call me today, 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage. Honest advice you can trust. 425-649-6000.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Jillian Raftery. The ceasefire between the United States and Iran is holding, and Pakistan continues efforts to bring both sides back to the table for talks aimed at permanently ending the war. Michael Wallace was there when Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth spoke this morning.
During a Pentagon briefing, Hegseth called the U.S. blockade ironclad.
No one sails from the Strait of Hormuz to anywhere in the world without the permission of the United States Navy.
He called on European and Asian allies to help, saying the time for free riding is over.
They need the Strait of Hormuz much more than we do, and might want to start doing less talking and having less fancy conferences in Europe and get in a boat.
Hegseth says Iran's military has been reduced to a group of pirates. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
The Justice Department has dropped its investigation of Federal Reserve Board Chairman Jerome Powell. Instead, an announcement said the Inspector General will investigate cost overruns for renovations to the Federal Reserve headquarters. That watchdog has already reviewed the case twice and found no wrongdoing. Coming up here at 9:30, the King County Council will have a special meeting on fraud and risk management. This comes after a report revealed fraud among human services contracts, and an audit showed millions of dollars unaccounted for at a separate regional homeless services agency. Opening statements began yesterday in a Renton murder trial. 52-year-old Aaron Myers is an off-duty security guard charged with killing 17-year-old Hazrat Ali Rohani outside a Big Five Sporting Goods last June. Prosecutors say Myers spotted 3 teens walking toward the store and opened fire within 30 seconds. He shot Rohani 7 times as the team tried to run. Myers' attorney says his client believed the boys were armed and about to hurt people. A Seattle landmark is getting some safety upgrades. KIRO 7 TV's Elle Thomas explains.
A limited demolition at Gasworks Park is underway, and it's to take down some of the parts people use to climb onto the towers. This after years of reported injuries and deaths at the park. 3 people have died falling off that structure, including a 15-year-old boy last July.
Seattle Parks and Rec says the rest of the structures will not be affected. It's going to take about 2 months to finish that job. Now we're going to look at your traffic, and the short answer is we're doing a lot better. Renton to Bellevue, 36 minutes. It was over an hour, a half hour ago. We are all clear from an earlier long-term crash on 405. In fact, there were 2 collisions. Both are clear now. The backup on 167 is clearing. The bad news is that Federal Way to Seattle is still a 50-minute drive. And we're seeing a lot of pressure on the alternate routes as well. In fact, I even think there might be a collision on I-5 northbound right about Boeing Field. I'm going to check on that for you. 509 northbound at SR 518, there's a collision partially blocking the left lane. That's slowing you down. Linwood, Bellevue, much better at 33 minutes on 405. Linwood to Seattle, just 29 minutes on I-5. This report brought to you by KIRO Newsradio. Going to stay mainly sunny today, a high of 64, even better tomorrow, 66 and entirely sunny. It's 48 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO Newsradio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Fresh Friday to all of you. Now, federal investigators have that box of King County ballots that were found near a Renton dumpster. State GOP Chair Jim Walsh says they were dropped off at party headquarters by a concerned citizen who claimed that he tried to tell elections officials about the ballots but got no response.
This is proof that Washington state elections are not secure.
Is this actually proof of that? And how did those ballots end up near a dumpster? King County Elections Director Julie Wise joins us now live on the Gee and Ursula Show. Julie, thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
So what exactly were these ballots and how did they end up where they were? Were they ever in the custody of voters?
These were past election ballots. It looks like from 2022 to 2025, past election ballots that were mailed out to voters. They all went to a private mailbox location where it appears the voters did not pick up their mail or pick up those ballots. And so it looks like that they were unvoted, uncounted ballots for, again, past elections.
You said that there was, quote, no opportunity for fraud here, right? Somebody's listening right now. Make that case for someone skeptical of that. What specifically in the system, signature verification, barcodes tracking, would have stopped any one of those 400 ballots from being voted and counted?
That's right. The checks and balances are really at the back end of the process at King County elections. We're verifying every single signature on the return envelope to the voter's signature. We're trained by Washington State Patrol to do that signature verification. That ensures in vote by mail, something that we've been doing for over 20 years here in Washington State, that the voter voted their ballot and no one else did. And as you mentioned, we also have ballot tracking. So voters can go online and they can see where their ballot is at every step of the process, as well as ballot alerts, where you can sign up to get a text message or an email notification, again, of where your ballot is in the process.
So I don't want to be repetitive, but I do want to be repetitive because, again, the state GOP chair is saying it is a custody issue, and there's no this shows that we had no proof of custody, and that there's a lot of questions right now about voter security. Were these people or these ballots for people, did they get a chance to vote? I mean, would that have come up? How does something like this happen?
Yeah, so again, we're going to have ballots are currently with the Renton Police Department. They have provided King County Elections with copies of those envelopes, and we're doing research. What we can see is that some of those voters actually requested replacement ballots, and that's something that voters can do. If for some reason they didn't retrieve or receive their ballot for an election, they can contact King County Elections and receive a replacement ballot, and that's what some of the voters did in this case, and they actually did vote in the election. Chain of custody, absolutely. Again, the checks and balances are on the back end that we're doing signature verification to ensure the voter voted their ballot. I think what's important is the Brennan Center noted that one is more likely to be struck by lightning than to commit voter fraud. So while we hear this sort of thrown about a lot, that's not the actual thing that's happening here, right? And because, again, you may have access to a ballot, and again, these were accurately delivered to where you can get a ballot at your private mailbox location. We're going to research as to why those voters didn't pick up their ballot, if it was because they had closed their box or because they hadn't paid for their box. We're going to do a little bit more research there with the help of law enforcement. But these ballots, again, weren't in any other hands before or during those elections.
You listen to the voice of Julie Wise, Director of King County Elections here on the Gee and Ursula Show. You called Representative Jim Walsh's move unethical. and said that the responsible thing to do was to turn the ballots over to authorities immediately. Now, he'd argue he was exposing a problem that the public deserved to see. So the question is, where's the line at, Julie? And when I say where's the line between political theater and actual doing the right thing?
Representative Walsh knows my phone number, my email. He knows where I work. He knows where the elections office is, which happens to be just down the street from this PMB. If he really was concerned about democracy, I think that he would have absolutely got a hold of me. You know, there's been bantered about that an individual contacted the Secretary of State's office in King County elections and got the runaround. That is not true. No one contacted King County elections. The first time I ever heard of this was when Representative Walsh did a video on social media. Again, he knows how to get a hold of me. I've given him a tour just last year of the impressive King County elections facility. He should have handed them over immediately to myself or to law enforcement. We have the ability to do research and investigate what happened with these ballots. I think it is political theater when the video then also makes a call at the end to donate to the Republican Party. And you know, this is the continued narrative that we hear from this administration about these digs about vote by mail. And I think the biggest threat to people is and democracy and our elections is people in power like Mr. Walsh that are making video and statements that are reckless. That's reckless to our democracy. And there's checks and balances here in the system. This, again, is something that we've been doing for many, many years across this country. And I question, the President of the United States votes by mail. Mr. Walsh votes by mail. And so if it's good enough for them, how come it's not good enough for us?
Walsh votes by mail?
President Trump votes by mail.
No, how about Jim Walsh?
Of course, yes, votes by mail.
Huh. Okay, sorry. We're just, Julie, I can tell that because normally when we talk to you, it might not be quite as animated as you are right now. And we get it all the time because we say, hey, I think a bigger issue is making it so that people don't vote because of the things that we're trying to put in place. But the pushback that we get every single time is, well, just because you say there's only a small amount of proven fraud, don't you want to eliminate all fraud? What is your response to that?
Yeah, I think, you know, when we tell people not to trust elections, again, it harms elections because democracy is at its finest when all voices are heard. So we can't push people away from their opportunity to have their voice heard, and that's by voting in our elections. You know, vote by mail is built for life, but we believe about meeting voters where they're at. That's why we provide opportunities to vote in person. We have 7 vote centers from Kenmore to Kent here in King County. There's options for voters for however they want to show up and be able to vote. And you're right, I'm a little bit maybe more passionate this morning than I have been in the past. So much so, Ursula, that I think I forgot your question.
I think you answered it. You did answer it.
Okay. No, Julie, we gotta let you go. We gotta let you go. But before we go, I need your help.
Yes.
You just gave a whole bunch of facts. Can you help me be able, because when we get off this, there's going to be a lot of people, what about 2004? And well, what about this? They never are able to address the facts. How can I do a better job of talking about this? Because they never want to address the facts. How can I do that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's such a great question, right? I mean, we surround ourselves with the things that we want to hear, right? And people that have the same feelings and beliefs for us. So it's really hard to kind of get out of that. One of the things that I really fundamentally believe is in radical transparency. And we believe in that at King County elections because I get it. Like you put your ballot in a mailbox or a drop box and like it's magic. What happens next? You got to be able to see it to believe it. So we're doing things like we've got a plexiglass, literally a transparent 1/5 of a mile loop around ballot processing at King County elections so you can see us processing ballots. If you can't make it down to our Renton headquarters, we're live streaming videos as we process ballots at King County elections. I also want to talk about that King County elections has a nationally award-winning program where we have observers that are from all the parties, including nonpartisans, that come and are watching that process, and you can reach out to your party, see it with your own eyes. We will be there to answer all of the tough, hard questions, and go to where you're going to get facts. And the facts are going to be at the Secretary of State's office and your election offices across the state of Washington. And don't forget that the people that are working at King County elections are dedicated, brilliant, resilient, Washington State certified election administrators that are passionate about doing this work. And they're your neighbors. They're with you at PTA. They're in line at the grocery store. These are human beings who are dedicated to this work because they believe in making sure that your voice is heard. That's their own interest.
Happy Friday, Julie Weiss. Thank you so much.
Happy Friday.
All right. Ursula, coming up next, we need to talk. Gee and Ursula.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
If you are thinking about a new car, do what I have done repeatedly and start your search at Carter Subaru, Seattle's only Subaru dealership. You know, I'll tell you why I keep going back. It's not just because of their great cars. It is truly about how they treat their people. You are treated like family. You're not dealing with all sorts of pressure, no games, just real conversations and real value for your hard-earned money. That is what Carter Subaru is all about. Now, let's talk about their selection because it is fantastic. Carter Subaru has more than 700 vehicles in stock. That is the largest selection in the state. And the deals are strong. The 2026 Crosstrek, for example, starting at just 1.9% APR for 36 months, or the 2026 Outback at 3.9% APR. Carter Subaru in Ballard, in Shoreline, or online at cartersubaru.com.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized cost. See dealer for details. Valid through 4/30/26.
Families across Western Washington voted Aegis Living Best Senior Living Community, and Seniorly ranked them #1 in America. See why. Schedule a tour today at aegisliving.com/KIRO and get a special take-home gift. Aegis Living. This must be the place.
Join the conversation and text your favorite show on the KIRO Newsradio text line at 888-973-KIRO. That's 888-973-5476. Powered by Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
DQ presents the Blizzard Double Flip Deal. For a limited time, when you buy one Blizzard treat, you get a second for just 99 cents. That's 2 Blizzards, 2 spoons, 2 flavors, and 2 flips. So don't miss out on the Blizzard Double Flip Deal, available only for a limited time and happening now at DQ. Because the only thing better than a Blizzard treat is a second Blizzard treat for just 99 cents. It's a deal to flip for. The Blizzard Double Flip Deal. Get it in the app. Participation may vary.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. You know, the big wireless companies say they have discounts for people over 55. But unless you're willing to sit on hold and ask, you're probably paying more than you should. At Consumer Cellular, there's nothing to hunt down. We're built for people 50 plus with plans starting at just $20. And our 100% US-based customer service actually answers the phone. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today and get your second month free for a limited time.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Hey, it's John Curley with my friend Bob Stelton. And Bob, just like me, you had a hip problem. You were recommended surgery. Why did you go see Dr. Wagner first?
I was walking around at about an 8 pain level. I couldn't walk that far before the pain would kick in, and it was impacting my workouts and just really impacting my day-to-day stuff.
So you had stem cell on your hip. How does it feel now?
I can do a lot of things I could not do prior to this procedure, and I feel like like I've gotten back to being who I was prior to the injuries, which was somebody who's very active, loves being out there outside when the weather's great, being on the motorcycle, sparring in jiu-jitsu, working out. I can do all of those things now. And I've had friends that have gone to see Dr. Wagner. They had the same experience, whether they were dealing with a hip, a knee, an elbow, a shoulder. Everybody walking out of there feels like, why didn't I do this sooner?
Before you choose surgery, do what Bob and I did. Go see Dr. Mark Wagner first. drmarkwagnermd.com. drmarkwagnermd.com.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You need a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. Switch today. Get started with a great offer as low as $60 a month. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Offer ends 6/1/26. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet and security edge. 1-year agreement, eco-bill, and autopay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
If you're looking to buy or sell a home in Washington, recent headlines might concern you. Talk of pocket listings or private networks where only certain consumers see certain properties are all over the media. Good news. The legislature recently passed a bill to protect you in your transaction. No secret deals, all listings available for everyone to see, not just an exclusive club of insiders. This means more competition, better offers, and fair access for all consumers. Learn more at warealtor.org, sponsored by Washington Realtors.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
Thanks, Nick, for keeping it still funky, even though we was late. My bad.
Oh, you're good.
Real quick, this is simple. Oh, let me just tell y'all what's happening. We got guests, y'all. So at 11 o'clock, that's right, Sophia, got to the bottom and got King County Councilman Rob Demowski to come in studio at 11. He's going to respond to and talk about the King County Regional Housing Authority. Now at 10 o'clock, Luke Ducey is going to have an update on that. So wait till you hear this update. We got a lot in store for you. But right now, real quick, we need to talk. And if you've been living under a rock, let me just tell you. Head coach of the New England Patriots, the same Patriots that lost against the Seahawks in the Super Bowl, that coach is alleged to have had an affair with Diana Rossini, who was one of the top NFL insiders in the business, nearly a decade, Ursula, with ESPN. As of recently, she was with The Athletic since 2023. Now, when it first came out, the pictures came out from Page 6, they said, oh, this is a laughing matter, this and that. They tried to blow it off, poo-poo the story. But then all of a sudden, all the pictures kept coming. The pictures, Ursula, have been coming since yesterday. They still coming.
Okay, can you tell me what these pictures show? Because I've not seen. I don't follow some of the same organizations.
Okay,
that you do.
the first pictures were in Sedona, Arizona. It was them out on the top of a rooftop that was by a jacuzzi. The jacuzzi can only be accessed through a 1-bedroom bungalow to get there. As of recently, there was a picture from 2020 in a bar with them together. Mike Vrabel then was still coaching with Tennessee. Rossini was covering the league for ESPN. Another one from a Mississippi casino in 2024. Now, Vrabel, who doesn't usually duck the media, he has skipped his pre-draft press conference only to come back for a press conference and then only to say, hey, everybody, day 3 of the NFL draft, I'm going to take off. I'm out of here. I'm going to get counseling with my family. Now, Diana Rossini has already resigned from her job.
She was going to get fired, so she resigned.
So Mike Vrabel has a job. So the reason why, so now you guys are thinking, gee, okay, we get it. Some of us know the stories, some of you don't, but I just want to make sure I set it up. Here's what I want to talk to you about, and this is why I got to bring it up. Y'all, yesterday I've never even seen this in a plot in a movie. I've never thought about it. When I told Ursula about it, her jaw dropped. Listen to this, y'all. You know how these social media posts, and I tell you the truth never expires. In 2021, Diana Rossini took to Twitter, it was then, it's X now, says, I keep looking at my almost 4-day-old son, Michael, while trying to figure out who are the best Michaels to ever play and coach in the NFL.
Ew.
Y'all, Mike Vrabel played and coached in the NFL. Mike's name is Michael. She named her son with her husband, Michael. Y'all.
Yeah, now I got a lot of questions. My jaw did drop. It's almost as if they were so sloppy about it and apparently it was like the worst kept secret.
I don't even have time. I was going to play. There's an interview. Nick, check this out. It's an interview with her interviewing Mike Vrabel and asking him questions about his wife, Jen.
I saw that image on Reddit, yeah.
Yo!
That didn't age well.
This is the Real Housewives for sports.
It really is.
Hey, coming up next here on the show, Luke Ducey, KIRO Newsradio's news reporter, is going to join us. And Ursula, yo, he got an update. I won't say it again. He's got an update on King County Regional Housing Authority. Next, Gee Ursula.
Help DEA keep our communities safe and healthy by participating in National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day, Saturday, April 25th. Take action right in your own home by cleaning out your medicine cabinet of unneeded medications. Keep them safe, clean them out, take them back. Find a collection site near you at DEATakeback.com. Do your part to lower overdose deaths and prevent prescription drug misuse before it starts. That's DEATakeback.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales event going on right now through Sunday, May 3rd. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales event going on right now. Discover the D.R. Horton difference. Visit drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
Gas prices are at record highs. Markets are volatile. And if you're retired or close to it, I know what you're thinking. Is my plan strong enough for what's coming? Most financial plans aren't built for times like these. They're built for the good times. And that's a problem. That's why one of the Northwest's best-known retirement attorneys, Rajiv Nagayach with LifePoint Law, is personally leading seminars where you'll learn why the planning you've already done may not be enough and what a real retirement plan looks like when your healthcare, housing, legal protection, and finances all work together. No sales pitch, no obligation, just 90 minutes that could change the way you think about your future and give you the peace of mind that you won't run out of money or become a burden on your family.
Attend a free LifePoint Law retirement seminar in Puyallup on May 5th, Federal Way on May 6th, Bellevue on May 7th, or Linwood on May 12th. Seminars begin at 6:30 p.m. Seats are limited, so register now at lifepointlaw.com. That's lifepointlaw.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Carter Subaru is Seattle's only Subaru dealer with the largest selection of Subarus in Washington. With over 800 vehicles in stock, they have exactly what you're looking for with savings you'll love. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard or anytime at cartersubaru.com.
KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Steve Kathan. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth says Iran is at a crossroads.
All they have to do is abandon a nuclear weapon in meaningful and verifiable ways, or instead they can watch their regime's fragile economic state collapse under the unrelenting pressure of American power.
Iran's top diplomat heading to Pakistan to discuss ceasefire talks with the U.S. There have been concerns raised about the American supply of long-range missiles and other weapons that were used extensively in attacks on Iran. CBS's Charlie D'Agata.
If you're looking at the possibility of a conflict with China, a possibility of any conflict, any other region in the world, it takes a long time to build up these stockpiles of weapons. There are concerns that because of the tempo of the fight that was happening between the United States and Iran, that costs and takes a long time to replenish.
Now to northern Oklahoma, where some people had to be rescued from their collapsed homes after several large tornadoes tore things up. These people live in Enid, Oklahoma, where neighborhoods were flattened.
It's leveled. I mean, completely leveled. We don't know if any families made it out of there.
All that's left is the foundation.
CBS's Mark Strassman is in southern Georgia, where dozens of homes have been destroyed by wildfires.
Where the fires are out of control, they are giving evacuation orders, and they need people here to heed those orders. In some cases, people listen, and of course, in some cases, people do not. And that is the worry of fire officials, is that by staying put, they're putting themselves needlessly in danger.
81 sexual assault charges have been added to a case against a former Boston doctor.
Rheumatologist Dr. Derek Todd was already facing 22 counts of rape and sexual assault for allegedly performing inappropriate breast and pelvic exams, often while making crude sexual remarks. Suffolk County DA Kevin Hayden.
The allegations contained in these indictments outline serial sexual crimes that have little or no equivalent in the history of Suffolk County.
Todd was released without bail and ordered not to leave Massachusetts. More than 200 of his former patients have sued him. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
President Trump has said he's considering a taxpayer-funded takeover of Spirit Airlines with the idea that the budget airline would be sold once the price of oil drops. CBS's Chris Van Cleve.
What exactly it would look like is a bit of an open question. Likely, Spirit would continue to run as a standalone company with some kind of government oversight, perhaps seats on the board of directors.
Wall Street. Right now, the Dow is down 130 points. The S&P and NASDAQ are trading higher. This is CBS News.
The stars shine brighter on CBS Mornings.
This is a slam dunk.
So cute. Gail came in singing for me today.
On CBS Mornings.
The King County Regional Homeless Authority future in question. We're going to get into that in just a moment. But first, KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. And finally, we are starting to see some relief. It's still very tough to get northbound into Seattle or the east side. Federal Way to Seattle, 49 minutes. We had a collision around Boeing Field. That has since cleared. Renton to Bellevue, 45 minutes. We had a long-term collision in the morning commute, but those have cleared. But there's just still some residual slowing. Linwood to Seattle now just 23 minutes in comparison on I-5, and Linwood to Bellevue, 26 minutes. The lake bridges are clear. The South Sound and the North Sound look pretty good. Just keep in mind, SR 18 eastbound is closed over the Tiger Mountain Summit right now, so you need a reroute. This report brought to you by the Seattle Mariners. Randy Johnson number retirement ceremony night presented by T-Mobile is Saturday, May 2nd. Get your tickets at mariners.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Jillian Raftery. Today, the board of the King County Regional Homeless Authority will discuss a potential way forward after an audit revealed the group couldn't account for $13 million. Seattle City Council President Joy Hollingsworth says the city alone has put $500 million into that agency and its efforts since 2019.
This part where we're always talking about we're a wealthy city, we have progressive taxes, but we never talk about, well, what are the outcomes are for certain things? What are the things that we're getting to? It's we need more money, and that's a problem that I have.
She spoke to the Gee and Ursula Show yesterday. We're going to have reporter Luke Ducey live with the Gee and Ursula Show coming up after this newscast with so much more. State regulators say a network of cryptocurrency platforms scammed people out of nearly $10 million. The Washington Department of Financial Institutions filed charges against 38 companies this week and ordered them all to shut down. 6 of them are Washington corporations. The state says they sold fake securities tokens without being registered to sell investments. 3 Washington residents lost a combined $49,000. One person is fighting for their life after a wrong-way DUI crash left mangled wreckage all over the road in Olympia last night. KIRO 7 TV's Lindsay Sheldon has more.
The victim in one of the cars was trapped inside with life-threatening injuries. It took the Olympia Fire Department more than 51 minutes, almost an hour, to cut that person from their own car with jaws of life, and they were airlifted to Harborview Medical Center. Witnesses tell deputies that the driver was coming toward them, then swerved and hit the car behind them head on. Sheriff Sanders says that the suspect smelled like alcohol, and they arrested that person under suspicion of DUI and vehicular assault.
It's the moment that players dream of.
The Seattle Seahawks select Jadarian Price.
Price is a running back at Notre Dame, selected as the Seahawks' first-round draft pick. And a Pierce County High School grad got snapped up in the first round, too, by the Ravens. Vega Ioane graduated from Graham Kapowsin High School. Now, checking your weather, mainly sunny today, high of 64. I don't even see rain in the forecast over the next week. It's 54 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
It's Fresh Fridays here on the Gee and Ursula Show, and woo-wee, that sun is out, Ursula.
It's beautiful. I've been taking advantage of the beautiful days, the days that they have been nice and sunny.
Yeah.
We posted because people were asking at 9:47. We didn't do our check-in. What are we doing with Flex Friday?
My bad.
No. We were squeezing in all sorts of different things. Luke is in studio with us. He is flexing his muscles.
Yeah.
I think we're kind of getting a movement going.
Yeah.
So people are missing it when we don't talk about it. But yes, post on our Gee and Ursula Show Facebook page. What are you doing differently to get more healthy?
Yeah.
To get more fit?
I definitely, matter of fact, let me tell you how fit I feel today. And Ursula, you didn't say nothing about it. Did you notice what I wore today?
I've been so busy. Oh, you wore shorts.
I wore shorts today.
Are you wearing Crocs too?
No.
Ooh, okay. Yeah. Look at you, though. I think this might be is this the first time I've seen you in shorts?
Yeah, I don't wear shorts.
Nice.
Yeah.
I know, but you've been putting in the work every single day.
I think my wife likes my legs, too.
Oh,
hey!
Okay.
All right.
Well, I haven't seen you in shorts, but I have seen you in the Speedo.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that was... Okay, wait. For full context, we took a field trip
at a new resort. Ursula saw me in a Speedo at a new beach.
After that Mike Grable conversation.
I know, exactly. We need to keep this clear. Okay, Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO.
What's new at 10?
2 council members from Seattle and King County are drafting separate pieces of legislation to dissolve the King County Regional Homelessness Authority. Why are they doing this? Well, we've talked about it. There's that new audit that reveals the agency mishandled up to $13 million. And now the agency is responding, and our reporter Luke Ducey has been tracking this mess, and he joins us live now.
Let me apologize first because I feel like I'm coming on here and it's a beautiful day where Flex Friday. And
you're going to be Captain Bring Down.
Now let me make you really angry,
Yes.
okay?
Okay.
Here's the new thing that's going on today at 3 o'clock. The agency's board is meeting in the public library in downtown Seattle to respond to those audit findings that $13 million just went unaccounted for. Poof, it's gone. No one knows where it is. And they're also going to discuss, listen to this, what to do next. So one of the things they're going to be discussing is possibly setting up a new finance committee after all that money went away. However, as we said yesterday, 2 council members are now saying, forget about the committee that you want to set up. Forget about the meeting today. We need to dissolve this whole thing. At a press conference at City Hall, and we shared a little bit with you yesterday on the Gee and Ursula show, King County Council member Rod Demowski announced he's drafting legislation now to get rid of the agency. Listen to this.
They say that the road to hell is paved with good intentions. And the King County Regional Homelessness Authority was set up 6 years ago with the best of intentions. But the tool that was set up has been given more chances than it deserves at this point, and it has failed again and again and again.
Seattle City Councilor Maritza Rivera is also drafting an ordinance to dissolve the agency on the city side. So you've got 2 different laws that are going to be one for the county, one for the city. The audit found things like money being mishandled, mismanaged, 84 whole accounts not labeled. They didn't keep track of cash advancements. They didn't use software, 2 iterations of software at times to warn them about overspending, and now they're $45 million in the hole. I hear a lot of questions all the time. I've been hearing it since covering this story on social media, from listeners, from friends, from my wife. The first thing she asked me is, who's being held accountable for this?
Exactly.
Why isn't anyone being arrested for this? Well, the audit found no evidence, I'm putting that in quotes, of fraud, which means it doesn't mean there's not any fraud. But Demowski said this yesterday. The mess is so messy that they can't retrace things to figure out if there was even any fraud or not fraud. It's just a mess. So that board meeting today at the public library, again, 3 o'clock in downtown Seattle, the agenda says there will be time for public hearing, for public comment. Adding to listeners' frustrations, though, again, my job to make you angry this morning, the city and county want to fix the agency. They don't want to get rid of it officially. We got
who doesn't want to get rid of it?
Well, the mayor, Mayor Katie Wilson.
She has now come out and said she doesn't want to get rid of it?
Well, and exec Gurmai Zahalai. So in a letter that they released with the audit findings, they said they outlined the steps they are taking to revamp and refurbish and redo kind of and fix things. And, they're both on the board, so they'll be there today. And so, but again.
Please, if you have time, show up for this meeting.
Well, here's how I see it, and I'd love for you guys to jump in on this. They'll be discussing the possibility, again, of developing a resolution that will then set up a new finance committee. So what I kind of hear from that is they're having a meeting today to discuss more
resolution,
more meetings, and then they're going to vote on a committee that will have more meetings.
Yes. Meanwhile, where's the money?
No one knows.
No. How about, and Gee, tell me if I'm wrong here. How about meeting and creating ways to dismantle this agency, which has been flawed from its inception, which has had turnover of CEOs, which has been marred and mired in dysfunction, which has been getting tons of money. How about you make sure you don't lose any more money while covering those who are getting some of those funds to make sure that they're not hurt in the process, but we get rid of this agency. I mean, I'm sorry, but you want to now create this financial whatever guardrails?
Yeah.
Why wasn't that done when it started? Like, too little, too late.
Yeah. Hey, Ursula.
Yeah?
I know why I couldn't concentrate in school. Because I'd be having so many weird, pictures and images just go through my mind when you guys are serious telling news stories. And I just can't get out of my mind revamp, refurbish. Refurbish? That reminds me of the relationship of the mayors that should be done with. You know what I mean? It should be done with. But you said, no. Let's have a meeting to have a therapy session. So we're going to have a meeting, have a therapy session so we can revamp and refurbish this relationship. This is the only thing we want to hear, okay? And by the way, since yesterday, I have talked to public officials behind the scenes.
Me too.
And let me tell you what they're saying. Not now, but right now, get rid of the King County Regional Housing Authority. There is no meeting that taxpayers want to hear. I'm just going to say the quiet part out loud. Every single time you get on there and says, we're going to try to put together a financial committee, you are literally peeing on taxpayers' leg and telling them that it's rain. Don't do it. The only thing they want to hear, I'm giving you a cheat sheet here.
Yes.
The only thing they want to hear is that it is going away.
Yes. And we're not going to lose any more money. And the money that is still missing is going to be accounted for. And if there was a crime committed, and again, we're not saying there was, but if there was, someone is going to be held accountable criminally, and if not criminally, civilly, and some of that money is going to be recovered.
That's it.
Period.
That's it.
Exactly. But here's the other part of it. We have two council members right now. And King County and Seattle are the biggest contributors to the budget of the King County Homeless Regional Authority, which was created with this idea of it's a regional problem and all the different cities have to contribute to it. But again, that also has not been happening. And what I was going to say is, I don't understand why Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson would not just outright say it's time to be done with it, because her own homelessness plan does not include this agency.
It's a good point. And Councilmember Rivera kind of alluded to that yesterday in this press conference, saying, because the question was asked, okay, what does this all look like next year? And the answer from her was, Mayor Wilson has really kind of taken the reins here with her own policy decisions and driving her own policy, and so she's going with that. So in other words, is this going to be like a joint effort still? Does the city want to go alone without the county? Does the county want to go alone without the city? What does that look like? And maybe there's an argument to be made as well. I've heard this argument. You've got a system as broken as it appears to be, according to the audit, that's in place. If you get rid of it, then you've got to start from scratch all over again. I'll let you all weigh in, and you at home, especially if you're watching on the YouTube feed, if that's a good idea or not. But
206 texted in and said, Regional Homeless Authority is a case in point that public money is frittered away with no oversight. I am an auditor. This was set up to fail. It feels like that. And okay, just so you know, Luke, first of all, thank you for your reporting on this.
Thanks for having me. Yeah.
We are going to have the King County Council member, Rod Demowski. How many others on the county council feel the same way that he does? We had the council president on yesterday, and she said, she wants to take the money in-house and not continue down this path.
I'm going to go ahead and say this on behalf of politicians that are currently in office. And I'm not giving them an out. I'm not justifying. But this is what I'm saying to you. The gig is up. And what I mean by that is in the past, right? In the past, you were able to kick the cans down the road. You were able to, we're going to set up a committee and we're going to get to the bottom of this and all of the different buzzwords. And again, I'm not blaming all of you guys that are in office right now, because I'm blaming this continuation of the same thing happening. And so what's happening in politics is there's usually buzzwords, things that you say, political speak, political theater, all these different things. I'm telling you right now, it's over. It does not work anymore. The people, like this ain't a Republican thing. This ain't a Democrat thing. This is a straight up people thing. And if you think that you're going to get in office and say some of the same things in the past, you're actually going to have to be very good at what you do. And you're actually going to have to do what you say. So for an example, this King County Regional Housing Authority, I'm going to tell you right now, if you are a politician and you come with this, we're going to try to keep it, it ain't working.
No. And I would beg anybody who tries to make the case to keep it going to explain what it is explicitly that they have done that has benefited and that has been demonstrable in terms of how we have improved or made dents in this crisis. David Graham says this entire state needs to be audited. Who are we kidding? The spending is rampant and we are all tired of being taxed to death to pay for it. I believe exactly that. Again, one of the things that you said, Gee, you said, well, that they've been kicking down the can and you don't necessarily blame the politicians. I blame the politicians.
Well, the reason
they're the ones in power.
Right. And you should. What I'm saying is sometimes, even in corporate America, people do things, well, this is how we've always done things. Yeah. And so that happens a lot. And I'm just telling you that there is a new time right now.
Yeah.
By the way,
everyone's stretched. Yeah. Everyone feels like they're being taxed to death. Even people who would normally say yes to taxes, they're like, I'm out.
Yeah. I messed up. Jamestown and Eastlake. This is one of those years I've been going my whole life saying the gig is up. Actually, it's the jig is up. I didn't know that.
It's also a gig.
I feel like it should be gig. I mean, both of those can be correct.
But I'm just saying, I've been going this whole time saying, so that's why Jamestown, thank you for correcting me. I always thought it was the gig is up.
I thought it was gig too.
Oh, you did?
I'm going to keep saying gig. I don't like the jig is up. What, do we stop jigging? No, we're going to.
Plus, I don't like the jig either. I'm going to go back to gig.
I agree.
Gig. Ursula,
you're good.
Gig feels safer.
You're good. Yeah. Yes. Okay. We talked also, speaking of being taxed to death, you know how Seattle voters are going to be asked to pay for this $480 million levy to help with the Seattle public library system?
Okay.
Well, it looks like young people are reading more than ever. And remember how I'm going to say that it was really you who you said, I just don't think people use the library much. And me had so many people coming in saying, I love the library. Okay. But according to the Seattle Times, more than 28,000 young people across the U.S. have signed up for a Seattle Public Library card without even ever having set foot in the city. And this is all part of the Books Unbanned, which is a program giving teens and young adults free access to ebooks, especially where titles are being restricted. So anyone between the ages of 13 to 26 can apply for an SPL card, and that basically gives them access to thousands of digital titles on their phone. And there are a number of libraries that are doing this: Boston, Los Angeles, Long Beach, San Diego, and Seattle. So, and what they're trying to do is fight against censorship in the U.S. with advocates saying if books are banned in one place, well, you can make them available everywhere. And this program is backed by donors and is driven by demand. So again, they've seen that this Unbanned card has seen 18,000 annual renewals since 2023. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Do the teachers still tell the children? The children? Do they still tell the children to read 20 minutes a day?
I think they should.
Because, Ursula, you love stats. I got some stats.
Oh, okay.
Approximately 40% to 48% of U.S. adults did not read one book in 2025. That means 1 in 2 Americans. Now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm not making a sweeping statement. I'm just going to leave this topic, in my opinion, with a question. In 2025, did you at least read one book? If the answer is yes, there you go. If the answer is no, there you go. Nearly half of Americans did not read one book in 2025.
But I think that other half makes up for the half that's not reading a book.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
And then the other thing that goes, some. Gee, apparently people are passionate about libraries. So just because you and I don't walk in there, I told you about my husband. I mean, he's got a stack of books from the library. He's regularly picking up stuff in the library. Angela Poe Russell sent us
Mark, long live Mark, is an outlier. We talk about this all the time. And by the way, can we get to the bottom? Is it gig or jig? Nick, which one is it, man?
I've always heard the jig is up.
Yeah, it is. The original was jig is up, but I think people changed it to, the gig is up.
Y'all can't have me. Text in, please tell me. Am I allowed to say? Because it's like saying data or data. You can say both.
Or, Jillian says Notre Dame and Notre Dame. I mean,
Isn't
in
that
France,
just like
it's
French?
Notre Dame. Yes.
Yeah, but this is just an idiom. Like, we're messing up. This is just whether or not.
I know.
Or is it children or children?
Hey, it's cheering. It's cheering.
You take care of them children.
Hey, we got scenarios happening at 10:47. Ursula, can we call it audible? I want to talk about something else at 10:33.
Of course.
Yeah. You get some other topics.
Okay.
All right. We'll surprise you next, Gee Ursula.
Local news from local voices you trust.
Flights out of Joint Base Lewis McChord.
KIRO Newsradio.
Questions about whether the Pentagon is deploying special forces to the Middle East.
The news you depend on.
Gas prices up 25 cents in the last week.
Conversation.
Then all of a sudden, Trump comes out, hey, we're having productive talks.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM. Streaming everywhere on the KIRO Newsradio app.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
Gas prices keep climbing, but the cost to drive doesn't have to. At Subaru of Puyallup, fuel-efficient models help you go farther on every tank with the confidence of all-wheel drive. From the all-electric Solterra to the Forester Hybrid with up to 35 miles per gallon, your stress-free shopping experience starts at Subaru of Puyallup. For stress-free pricing, a huge selection, and all the current pricing and financing specials, visit SubaruofPuyallup.com, your stress-free dealership, part of the Harnish Auto family.
Gas prices are at record highs. Markets are volatile. And if you're retired or close to it, I know what you're thinking. Is my plan strong enough for what's coming? Most financial plans aren't built for times like these. They're built for the good times. And that's a problem. That's why one of the Northwest's best-known retirement attorneys, Rajiv Nagayach with LifePoint Law, is personally leading seminars where you'll learn why the planning you've already done may not be enough and what a real retirement plan looks like when your healthcare, housing, legal protection, and finances all work together. No sales pitch, no obligation, just 90 minutes that could change the way you think about your future and give you the peace of mind that you won't run out of money or become a burden on your family.
Attend a free LifePoint Law retirement seminar in Puyallup on May 5th, Federal Way on May 6th, Bellevue on May 7th, or Linwood on May 12th. Seminars begin at 6:30 p.m. Seats are limited, so register now at lifepointlaw.com. That's lifepointlaw.com.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Every Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com.
Nick, you know what's a great thing about going to Longevity Medical Clinic as a couple?
Oh, I absolutely do. When they tell you to do something, you actually do it.
Right. And the same thing with you. When they tell you to do it, because for some reason, when I tell you to do it, you're like, whoa.
I just walk away and roll my eyes.
Exactly. But the great thing about Longevity Medical Clinic, the doctors there know, because we do the blood draw and they look and they can see, they know, they hold us accountable.
Yeah, when I'm under pressure and I know I'm coming in, I know I have to work the program.
Right. Plus, we also want to hold each other accountable for how we take care of ourselves because, we want to have a long, healthy, happy life.
I know. I want every day to torture you as long as I possibly can.
Well, I look forward to it. Here's the great thing about Longevity Medical Clinic. They're working with you. They're holding you accountable because they want you to have a long, healthy, happy life. I was a patient at Longevity long before I started doing these commercials. So get your free health analysis. Go to lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it today at carsforkids.org. Your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call 1-877-CARS4KIDS to donate your car today. That's Cars with a K.
Thanks for calling CM Heating.
Aren't you the company that gives away free furnaces?
That's us. Buy a qualifying high-efficiency cooling system and the furnace is free.
Wow.
Yeah, and our home comfort advisors are tax credit and rebate specialists, so they'll handle the rebate for you.
Go to CM Heating for better comfort, lower bills, and a free furnace you'll love for years. Get your free estimate for furnace replacement at cmheating.com. And remember, for furnaces, fireplaces, hot water, and total home comfort, including electrical, there's no beating CM Heating.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Jillian Raftery. The Middle East is in limbo. A ceasefire is holding between the U.S. and Iran, but no peace talks are happening yet. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth says the United States is moving more resources into the Strait of Hormuz to enforce a blockade on Iran and has turned away 34 ships so far.
No one sails from the Strait of Hormuz to anywhere in the world without the permission of the United States Navy.
There's also a ceasefire between Lebanon and Israel. Reporter Linda Gradstein reports from Jerusalem.
Mohammed Ra'ad, the head of Hezbollah's parliamentary bloc, said that Lebanon should withdraw from direct talks with what he called the Zionist enemy. He said that any truce that grants the occupying enemy an exemption to open fire is not a truce at all, but a devious deception. He spoke after President Trump announced that Israel and Lebanon had agreed to extend the truce between them for 3 weeks and said there was a good chance of reaching a final peace deal.
Thousands have been displaced in that conflict, and thousands have also died. Gas prices are up a cent overnight. Washington's average is now $5.41, according to Gas Buddy. The national average is $4.05. Facebook company Meta says it plans to cut 10% of its global workforce. CBS News tech contributor Ian Scher.
It's unclear how much further these types of cuts will go. It's clear that automation and AI coding tools are pushing a lot of what's happening in the tech industry. And there are a lot of businesses globally who say they intend to cut staff because of automation.
Meta announced last month it's cutting 168 jobs across Seattle, Bellevue, Redmond, starting in May. Yesterday, news broke that Microsoft would offer thousands of employees a voluntary retirement after eliminating about 15,000 roles last year. The Seattle Public Library has gone national. 28,000 young people around the country signed up for cards after the library opened up membership nationwide as part of a program to push back against book bans. Anyone can now get digital copies of books held by the Seattle Libraries through an online app. Now we're going to check your drive, and it is still a tough go for some reason. From the south end, getting into Seattle and Bellevue, I-5 northbound from Federal Way to Seattle is still 47 minutes. The slowing is pretty tight, starting around the Boeing Field, and it looks like there may be a collision near Boeing Field. I can't quite get my cameras on it, but that may account for that slowing still. Compare that to Linwood to Seattle. That's just 21 minutes right now. 405, likewise, still pretty packed through the S-curves. That drive, Renton to Bellevue, is 38 minutes, and we're seeing significant slowing for a couple of or 3 miles on 167 behind that 405 merge. Linwood to Bellevue, though, just 25 minutes on 405 southbound. The lake bridges are clear, and your north and south sound routes are pretty much a speed limit drive. This report brought to you by KIRO News Radio's app. Text app to 888-973-5476 to download the KIRO News Radio app. Listen to your favorite shows and get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone. Beautiful day, very mild, mainly sunny, 64 degrees. Overnight lows in the low 40s, but 66 and sunny tomorrow. It's 54 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show. We always like to learn new things, and so many people have texted us with the answer to, is it jig is up or gig is up? And the correct and original phrase is the jig is up, and it dates back to the late 1700s. In Elizabethan slang, a jig was not only a lively dance, but also a term for a trick, a joke, or a prank. So the jig is up, but a lot of people say gig.
I just want to say this. So I've been doing this show for 6 years, right? And been doing this show for 6 years. If you guys notice and learn that about, like, I don't have a problem not knowing everything. So guess what? If I don't know something, I ask.
Exactly.
And guess what? You guys have taught me a lot over the years.
Exactly.
But I just want to just say this because it's okay if you don't know something.
Thank you.
Like
exactly.
I wanted that's my point of bringing this up.
Yes.
Like, it's okay to tell the world, like, hey, you know what?
I don't know.
I don't know. I need to learn.
Yes.
Teach me.
Yes. And the day I don't learn something new every day is a bad day.
Stay curious, baby. All right,
Yes,
what you got, Ursula?
Well, one other thing. Just a reminder.
We got an interview.
We do have an interview coming up at 11 o'clock with King County Council member Rod Demowski. I've been on a hot seat. Also want to remind everybody that we are still tracking our Flex Fridays and what everyone is doing. And we love it when you let us know. The big thing that I did this week was just try to get more steps in. Yeah. And the big thing that you're doing is you go to the gym every day.
Ursula, every time you say we love it over the years, I don't know if I've ever told you this, but every time you say we love it, I almost finish it when you call me Big Papa. Now, there are some people that get that.
Some people understand.
Some people understand that. Uh-huh. Nick did, but
okay.
Can you throw your hands in the air?
Yeah.
Like you just don't care.
Yeah. Okay, what you got, Ursula?
Well, are you proud to be a Canadian? Well, because soon you could be. As it turns out, millions of people here in the U.S., Americans, might easily qualify for citizenship under a new Canadian law. And so this is a law that allows anyone who can document an unbroken line of Canadian ancestry, it allows you to claim citizenship. It doesn't matter how far back you're going. So you don't have to have residency. There's no waiting list. The application fee is only $55. So for Washingtonians living near the border, this could be a game changer. And 2 immigration attorneys spoke with King 5 News. Listen.
This is like the golden ticket that, not that they're necessarily going to use it, but it's like insurance. You know, why do we buy insurance? Not because we want to use it, but just in case we need to have it.
The majority of my clients are left-leaning Americans who are deeply concerned about the state of politics in the United States.
So again, if you can prove that you have some Canadian ancestry, you might be able to become a Canadian citizen.
Let me ask you something, Ursula, and those listening right now. See if you guys know me. Let's just say right now in front of me, I had an opportunity to become a citizen of Canada or wherever else. I had an opportunity to become a citizen of another country. Do you guys, Ursula, you think I would do it?
No.
That you look me straight in the eyes and you knew.
No. Now, I know that you are I want to say a proud American.
Yes.
I know that when you criticize what is going on, it is out of your love for this country.
Yes.
And for your overwhelming desire to have better for everybody.
Yes. Let me take it a step further. when I hear people say, oh my goodness, it's, this government right here, the federal administration, which by the way, you guys know how much I criticize it. I can't wait. I'm going to look to get me citizenship somewhere else. Now, guys, I apologize. I'm going to admit something to you. Whenever I hear that, I just wince a little bit. When I hear people say, this country's crazy. I'm going to get out of this country. A lot of times I'm like, bye. I know that sounds cruel, but for me, my ancestors did a lot on this soil, right? When I do our family reunion, we can see the script, the names they didn't even have names, Ursula, in my family. They were boy, girl, 13, right? So there's so much stuff that happens in this country. You think I'm about to leave?
No.
You think I'm going to encourage my grandkids to leave? No. Same thing in your house. Sometimes your house ain't in order. Sometimes things is rough. What you going to do, leave?
And I agree with you. Again, I moved from a country where I was looking from the outside in saying, oh my gosh, I want some of that. I want to be in the U.S. I chose to be an American citizen and give up my German citizenship. Not realizing, if I could do what they can do now, which is to have dual citizenship, I would certainly consider that because there are benefits to having dual citizenship.
Okay.
That all said, I do know of people who want or feel the need to leave this country for safety reasons. And I understand a parent of a trans child, for example, or raising I have talked to somebody who their trans daughter is now studying in British Columbia because they feel safer for her there versus here. And I don't begrudge anyone for that. And I understand that completely.
Yeah. I would say that there are places in this country, in this world, where those countries, you talk about safe,
yes,
and those things,
yes, it can be even worse,
a lot
worse. Yep. But I think you and I are on the same thing. It's like we want better for this country, and we're going to stay here to do our part to help make it better.
I'm not going nowhere.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we've been getting out late all the time, and we're going to make Nick happy. Let's see what kind of music Nick got here. See what you got.
I've been happy all day, man. I ain't stressing.
Even when we mess up going to break?
No.
Okay, cool. Hey, we got scenarios next, but you guys got to tune in because 11 o'clock, we're having Key County Council member Rod Demowski here. And he's not really on the hot seat technically because actually I think he's kind of on the same page with us. He's actually being vocal. And I wonder if he is in the minority amongst his people, his counterparts and all that in government, or what they are saying to him behind the scenes about the Regional Housing Authority. We'll do all that next. Gee Ursula.
The John Curley Show.
If by like the 15th of October rolls around and suddenly it's a bolt of lightning and I croak out right there, I'm fine.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
My dream of growing a giant pumpkin is just a couple of months away. I know somebody who knows somebody who knows a guy who knows a guy who knows someone who got me the seed, the 1,500-pounder, baby. It's in a secret location. I don't want to say where it is.
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Deep to right field. Going. Goodbye, baseball.
At T-Mobile Park, you've always got the best seat in the house. But for a view that's a real home run, check out right field. Make that the dump yard. Sure, it's a great spot to see our fearless outfielders fly, dive, and slide.
Wow! Victor Robles makes the catch!
But you might get to flash some leather too, because the forecast in the dump yard always calls for rain. Raining big dumper home runs, that is.
Number 60, the magical tour of Cal Raleigh just continues.
Mariners baseball. Trident's up.
Score seats for less than $12 on select dates all season long with Mariners value games, including the upcoming series against the Braves, May 4th through 6th. Plus, check out the expanded Mariners value menu and beer lineup, featuring 36 items and available every game. Get your tickets and check out all the value options at mariners.com/value.
Owie, wowie.
What's with the
water heater's worn out?
Way less hot water?
Takes a lot longer, too.
Sounds like a goner.
Worst of all,
what?
Wasn't planning on it.
We can help.
Apollo Plumbing.
Ready right now to get you
in hot water.
Same day.
Not this day. My budget.
How about with easy payments?
How much easy?
Around $50 a month with approved credit.
A new water heater?
50 gallons of 100% hot water delight.
For about $50 a month.
51, 52 to be precise.
And you can do it
today, if that's what you need.
Is it ever?
Apollo installs new ones with code upgrades.
Can't beat that.
Actually, I can.
What?
Your same-day water heater replacement includes Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
Which means?
Apollo Plumbing covers your new water heater for life.
You mean should it ever wear out?
Apollo Plumbing replaces it free.
And if it needs service?
Service is included for our A-list members.
Wow!
Your new water heater is ready
right now
at ApolloPlumbing.com.
You're losing your hair and you simply need a solution that works. You want the best. Modern technology, top-rated physicians, something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need world-class Dr. Perungo and his team at Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair has completely redefined hair restoration. From the experience itself to their unmatched results. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, maybe all three like I had. Get your hair back with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment that begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. For your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. Right now, you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Refine your hairline with the team that redefined hair restoration. That's 425-449-8185. Or for the before and afters, visit advancedhair.com.
Jazz Alley invites you to see the most celebrated guitarist in jazz history. Pat Metheny and Side-Eye 3 Plus take the stage April 23rd through 26th. Tickets at jazzalley.com. Next up, jazz vocalist and pianist Karen Allison.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Hartley here from Wilcox Family Farms. You've heard the saying, you are what you eat. Eggs are an incredible source of protein and omega-3s. But have you thought about what the hens eat to make healthier eggs? At Wilcox Farms, our hens enjoy organic pastures and a diet of organic grains and flaxseed, creating vibrant yolks, richer flavor, and real nutrition for your family. Next time you're at the store, choose Wilcox Eggs. Wilcox Family Farms, locally fresh since 1909.
Okay, Nick. You back, baby?
How we keeping it rolling, man?
Scenarios, let's go.
Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario?
Ooh, I got my guy out of debt. He owed a bunch of money on his credit cards and had no way of paying them off. Soon after that, here's my problem. I found a box of cards from a woman that he's never told me about. I freaked out, went off, cut up his clothes. I know I should have did that. Before this, and now he has called the police on me and has a restraining order because I cut up his clothes. Yes, I know I made a mistake, no doubt. But how can I salvage this relationship because I really love the guy? 888-973-5476 is the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line. Ursula, you up the bat first.
Wow. First of all, it takes two to want to salvage that relationship. That's one. Because,
refurbish.
Yeah. The guy might be, it sounds like he was already out. If you were doing all these things for him, it sounds like, and he was doing a lot of things for another woman. Unless you were jumping into conclusions and you are a hot-tempered person who jumps to conclusions and does irrational things in anger, and now you've got a problem because it escalated to the point where police were called. This would require deep counseling if there's going to be salvaging of this relationship. And even if it's not, I think you, and just with a very little amount of information that you've given, I think that you need to work on yourself first before you think about a relationship. And again, he may have already been checked out.
Hey, Ursula. I just thought about something. In your lifetime, do you know of anybody, family or friends, loved ones, that have cut up the clothes of their significant other?
No. I know of someone who's dumped clothes.
Okay.
I know of dishes flying,
okay,
in anger.
Yeah. Okay.
I witnessed that as a child.
Oh, yeah.
But, okay, sorry. I'm getting deep here. I'm just saying.
No,
I mean, when you're
that
talking
one,
about, when you're talking about things like infidelity or whatever, people may act irrationally. So, again, can you salvage the relationship?
Yeah.
For the sake of everybody involved, you need to get some counseling.
The reason why...
Singly and both of you.
Ursula, the reason why I brought that up about the cutting up of the clothes...
Yeah. Has that happened? Or have you had your clothes cut up?
No, I have not. But I know of a few...
Are you serious?
And actually, most of them are family, where they cut up the clothes. So go ahead and ask me, did those relationships make it? Yeah, they kept making it, but years later it didn't make it. But right away, usually
they can make it. But if you, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's keep going, and I'm just speaking vaguely now.
Yeah.
But actually, things that I've witnessed, you can continue in the relationship, but if you don't get help, that relationship will continue to be toxic. It will continue to be fly off the handle and do things.
Yeah.
It will continue to be disrespectful, both sides, and will have an impact on your own health, your own mental and physical well-being, as well as the well-being if you bring kids into the picture.
It's some old Bobby Whitney stuff, Ursula. That's all it is. And a lot of times they don't get the help.
Yes.
And truth be told, Ursula, I don't know if you know this or not, but some people like toxic spouses. Sometimes they stay for the toxicity.
Oh, you nailed that one. Some people thrive off of chaos. They, and sadly, I mean, and psychologists, I'm sure, would say that it's because that's all they know. That's their comfort zone. That's what they grew up seeing. And unless they can break the cycle with the help of counseling, or just be someone who is very, very strong and can do it on their own, it's just going to keep repeating.
Sophia, have you ever cut up somebody's clothes? No, you can respond to the scenarios.
I'm sure Dr. Pepper would have some thoughts on that, right?
We gotta get
Whatever our girl Pepper is. Yeah, y'all said it all.
You got nothing?
Yeah. They
There's not
need
much
help.
I will say the people in the text line are giving some examples of things they've seen of some people fighting back on their relationships.
Paris and Yelm saw the movie Waiting to Exhale because they said, hey, I've seen clothes set on fire. Ooh.
The one that really got me is Jake and Federal Way. I don't know if I'm going to read that one, but Jake and Federal Way. Oh my goodness.
No.
Jake and Federal Way. No, we can't read that out loud.
No, but being serious, though, it goes both sides. There's men that like toxic women, and there's women that like toxic men.
Facts.
And they always like the breakup to make up. You feel me?
People love, the
They
drama,
love
the toxic.
break up to make up.
I love it when
I'm just saying, and someone else texted it in. Don't bring kids into the picture if that's your relationship.
That would add a wrench to
Nick,
it all.
what's up, bro?
Well, first of all, I feel bad for the lady finding out about this bad news when it comes to the credit card debt, followed by secret letters in a box, probably going towards a mistress from what it sounds like. But there's effective ways to resolve these secrets and issues, from counseling and therapy to even just moving on and finding someone who won't do you dirty like that. But she seemed to go the whole 9 yards and then some, grabbing the scissors and going to town in his dresser drawer, cutting up all the threads. So I don't blame the dude for on and off with the other lady he's talking with, because she sounded a little off the rails with her reaction. To be fair, though, they sound like they both got some issues and maybe should take a break from the whole relationship gig, or jig, you want to call it, and maybe find themselves a little bit more.
Here's something that I kind of believe in. Seriously, follow me on this one. I think sometimes you can get in a relationship with somebody and their toxicity fires you up and makes you more toxic. And then the opposite happens sometimes. I think that you can get in a relationship with someone who has a calm demeanor. Like, I'll throw myself under the bus for an example. I think because of my wife's temperament and demeanor, it has, in the last 9 years, it has calmed me down dramatically. So if you guys have that significant other that has a calm peace about them, but it ends up making you even more calm, I believe that.
Yeah, make sure that you thank them.
Yeah.
I'm attracted to the calm. The crazy, it scares me, man.
A lot of people love the crazy.
Nick, I believe that about you. You need that calm, bruh.
Yeah, I need that zen.
Hey, King County Councilman Rob Demowski is joining us to talk about the King County Regional Housing Authority. Send your questions. Gee and Ursula.
That kind you won't take home to mother, and she will never let your spirits down. Once you get her off the street, blow, Danny.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
ICE agents have now been deployed to 14 airports across the country.
Traffic.
Did they open lanes?
They just reopened all lanes of northbound I-5.
Engaging conversation.
If he ends this right now, it only emboldens Iran. That's a big, big mistake.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
A one-hander, JSN.
Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Gas prices are at record highs. Markets are volatile. And if you're retired or close to it, I know what you're thinking. Is my plan strong enough for what's coming? Most financial plans aren't built for times like these. They're built for the good times. And that's a problem. That's why one of the Northwest's best-known retirement attorneys, Rajiv Nagayach with LifePoint Law, is personally leading seminars where you'll learn why the planning you've already done may not be enough, and what a real retirement plan looks like when your healthcare, housing, legal protection, and finances all work together. No sales pitch, no obligation, just 90 minutes that could change the way you think about your future and give you the peace of mind that you won't run out of money or become a burden on your family.
Attend a free LifePoint Law retirement seminar in Puyallup on May 5th, Federal Way on May 6th, Bellevue on May 7th, or Linwood on May 12th. Seminars begin at 6:30 p.m. Seats are limited, so register now at lifepointlaw.com. That's lifepointlaw.com. Epic parties start at Staples. Now you can grab Party City balloons, decorations, and tableware, plus matching custom invites, banners, and more right at Staples. That was easy.
How would you like to finally lose all those unwanted pounds quickly without spending thousands on painful injections or prescriptions? Hi, it's Donna Simpson, health and wellness expert. You probably know someone that is using Ozempic, the hottest diet craze in the country. Everyone knows about this prescription injection. Celebs use it to look their best. The problem is most of us can't afford Ozempic, and these injections can be so uncomfortable. Now you can lose the weight just as easily, but with no needles, no expensive prices, no side effects, and no worries. You need to try Lozempic, a new miracle weight loss breakthrough that performs so well it's been called nature's Ozempic. Lozempic is an easy-to-take diet pill now available without a prescription, being used by thousands to get rid of those unwanted pounds. So call now and find out how to get a free bottle.
To find out how to get your free bottle of Lozempic, call 800-605-5724, 800-605-5724. Free bottles are limited, so call 800-605-5724. That's 800-605-5724.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle. This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. President Trump sends a U.S. delegation to Pakistan for new talks. The latest from CBS's Linda Kenyon.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says the president's envoys will take part in the talks.
The president has decided to dispatch Special Envoy Witkoff and Jared Kushner back to Islamabad. The Iranians want to talk.
Notably, Vice President J.D. Vance will not be going. He led the last round of talks in Pakistan, and the Iranians have indicated they preferred to deal with him. Leavitt says he still remains involved and will be on standby, and that the vice president will go only if it is determined to be a good use of his time. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
The Hillsborough County, Florida Sheriff's Office says it has a person in custody as it investigates the April 16th disappearance of two University of South Florida doctoral students from Bangladesh. Police responded to a barricaded subject in a residential neighborhood. No information on couples' whereabouts and how the person taken into custody might be connected to them. Damage assessment and cleanup is underway in Enid, Oklahoma, after a confirmed tornado destroyed homes and forced the Vance Air Force Base to close. According to this resident,
it was bad. All that's left is the foundation. Thankful that nobody was hurt.
CBS's Jason Allen is in Enid.
Power lines are down all along this road that we are on, although we are now seeing a lot of power crews. They are starting to surge to the area. There's some urgency to that, because a lot of the cleanup needs power to get done, so they're trying to get in and get those lines back up.
No deaths, but there are 10 to 15 injuries reported. Gusty winds are still fueling drought-related wildfires in the southeast along the Florida-Georgia line. Georgia is the hardest-hit state, and one community, Waynesville, especially so. CBS's Mark Strassman is there.
The number of homes that have burned to the ground because of these wildfires is now up to 90. Think about that. Think about how much worse it would be if the population density was more significant than it is. That said, 90 homes means 90 families that no longer have a place to live.
It doesn't take long to become a millionaire in the NFL.
The minimum salary for a rookie this year tops $915,000. But for some incoming players, draft day could mean a pay cut. Top college stars have already earned seven figures through name, image, and likeness deals, plus new revenue-sharing programs. So there are players who will be drafted tomorrow who will earn less in the pros than what they took in during their time playing in college. Stacey Lynn, CBS News.
Anthropic says Google will pump up to $40 billion into the AI startup. Stocks are mixed on Wall Street. This is CBS News.
Join Adriana Diaz and Kelly O'Grady for the perfect start to your weekend. Ease into your Saturday with CBS Saturday Morning on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus.
Another city turns its flock cameras back on. We're going to talk about that in just a minute. But first, KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic, and our travel times continue to normalize. Federal Way to Seattle is still about 41 minutes, but that's much closer to normal after a 66-minute commute around 9 a.m. Renton to Bellevue on 405, 36 minutes. Nothing blocking, but again, there was a bad crash earlier today. There is still kind of some unexplained slowing through the S-curves and a little bit of a backup on the 167 merge, but again, nothing blocking. The lake bridges are clear. Linwood to Bellevue on 405 southbound is 18 minutes. Linwood to Seattle is 21 minutes on I-5 southbound. This report brought to you by D.R. Horton. D.R. Horton has new homes in communities across Puget Sound and Central Washington ready for you. Visit drhorton.com. America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Jillian Raftery. This afternoon, taxpayers will get their chance to let the King County Regional Homelessness Authority know how they feel after a new audit revealed the agency lost track of $13 million. The agency's board is holding a board meeting this afternoon to respond to those findings and discuss what to do next. At a press conference at City Hall yesterday, King County Council member Rod Demowski announced he's drafting legislation to get rid of that agency.
The tool that was set up has been given more chances than it deserves at this point, and it has failed again and again and again.
And we have him live on the Gee and Ursula Show coming right up, so stick around. Right now, the King County Council is holding a special meeting to discuss risk management, fraud prevention, and oversight. That after a report found fraud at the Department of Community and Human Services. It's a warning shot for Washington State. One of the world's largest credit rating agencies, Moody's, is signaling it may downgrade the state after lawmakers dipped into reserves, including the rainy day fund, to balance budgets. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey has more.
State leaders are being told the financial check engine light is on after Moody's is considering shifting Washington's outlook from stable to negative, a move that could raise interest rates on borrowing costs for state bonds. The issue is revenue is not keeping pace with spending after multiple years of multi-billion-dollar shortfalls. The latest budget pulls in about $1.2 billion from reserves to close the gap, while the millionaire's tax is not expected to generate revenue until 2029. Moody's warns that could leave the state less prepared for economic shocks. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
One person died in a shooting in Tacoma last night. No suspects have been arrested. It happened around 9 p.m. in the Hilltop neighborhood near J Street and South 11th. The city of Everett's flock cameras are back on. They shut them down in a lawsuit over what was allowed to be disclosed for public records requests. Now that state laws have clarified data retention and disclosure, they've turned them back on. We're going to check your weather now. 64 degrees, mainly sunny. Tomorrow, all sun, 66. Lows in the low to mid 40s overnight this week and weekend. 54 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
It is Fresh Fridays here on the Gee and Ursula Show, and it just got fresher. Because, wait, Ursula.
Yes?
So I come in, right, and get ready to start the show. and I had to think to myself, because there's a business card that's on my desk, and it says Rod Demowski, and has the pronunciation. And I said, now look, I usually mispronounce some names. I didn't mispronounce his name.
No, you did great. Someone else in the building did. And I'm going to guess when we introduce Rod Demowski, he's going to explain that it's probably butchered on a daily basis.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess. Kind of like anyone trying to tackle my last name without knowing. I mean, I've had people call me Routine.
And you're not routine.
No. I've had people say, is your last name Reutin?
But yeah, I had this on my desk. And wait a minit. I looked to see if you had one. I didn't see.
No, I have one. I have one.
And it has the pronunciation Demowski.
Yes.
All right. What's up, Ursula?
Okay, well, with that, let's get to it.
Top stories at 11.
On the Gee and Ursula Show.
Because we're all laughs right now, but we're going to get serious because there is a damning audit of the King County Regional Homelessness Authority, and it is triggering some big moves. We've been talking about this since yesterday, and there is now a push to shut the whole thing down. King County Council member Rod Demowski is one of those calling for that. He's backing this plan to dissolve the agency, calling it a failure. And I want to make sure that people understand, too, this comes right after a separate audit of the county's Human Services Department raised concerns about tens of millions of taxpayer dollars being misspent or poorly tracked. So we wanted to get the council member back into studio, and he joins us now. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me back. And if I can, on the name pronunciation card, give credit to my colleague, Councilmember Peter von Reichbauer, who, when I showed up at the King County Council, he said, Rod, you better put on your card how to say your name.
It's so
That's what
true,
he did.
though, right?
So, you got to make life as easy as you can for other people. And when you're in this business, the name matters. So thanks so much.
Absolutely. So appreciated. Well, so let's talk about the agency, which is a mouthful every time we have to say it. But we want to make sure it's we distinguish that this is a whole separate thing. This is the agency that was created years ago with the idea that homelessness is a regional problem that requires a regional solution. You have supported the model before. So what specifically pushed you from trying to fix it to saying, we're done?
Well, they've just had too many chances to get it right. You know, when you stand up something new like this, and I had some concerns and actually worked to modify the legislation 6 or 7 years ago when it was first proposed by then Mayor Durkin and Executive Constantine. But you can have one stumble, right? Even in private sector, you can have a mistake. You can have employees who steal. You can have to change strategy. But, you know, they had problems out of the gate, including like a $12 billion plan to end homelessness, which was pie in the sky, you know, so devoid and untethered to reality. And then audit after audit showing that they were just unable to set up basic accounting systems, unable to track their contracts. In 2023, the state audited them, the county did. There was federal review. They responded. They said, we're going to get our act together. We will fix this. We'll fix this. On their webpage today. Now we do another one, and you can see they have not gotten their act together. And so I don't think they're capable of it. And I think that this is the probably number one issue in our region. It has been for years, and it deserves a better response. If I thought it could be fixed, I wouldn't be suggesting it be shut down, but I don't think it can. And I don't think the model works. You know, it separates responsibility from accountability with this little agency over here.
Whoa, hold on. You just said something. You said it separates responsibility from accountability.
Yes.
Let's talk about that, because I don't think that used to be a thing. I think that it was all wrapped up in one, and let's try this and let's try that, and okay, it didn't work, or let's revamp this and let's have a meeting. Why the change? Because it feels like right now there's actually a change where people are coming together like, man, this is bad. What makes you talk about the responsibility and accountability?
You know, I got to give credit to a former colleague who served on the county council, Larry Phillips, and he said, Rod, if you're going to be held accountable for something, when you go to the grocery store and your neighbors talk to you, what are you doing about this? You better have the responsibility for that. What we did here was separate those two things. I'm still held accountable for it. Every elected in the region is. But the responsibility to address it was sent over to this quasi-independent agency overseen by folks with lived experience, and then some electeds that got appointed to it. And that separation is I think, one of the fundamental problems with it, and why I don't think there's a mending. It has to be an ending.
Okay, I want to get there, because the thing that we keep trying to drill down to is this whole idea of who gets held accountable. When we break it down to see what they were doing, there were categories of other that were inexplicable. Still to this date, don't know where the money went, what was the result of that money. And you said, you can do it one time, but this has been repeated with this department, with this agency. Why?
Well, I think there's a lot of reasons identified in the audit. You had a new agency being stood up. I think you had some serious problems with initial leadership there.
They've had 5 CEOs.
Yes, and you had the pandemic came in, which slowed things down. You had a very complicated policy environment with a lot of people with a lot of opinions brought to the table about different ways and what ought to be done. And when you have that kind of conflagration or dispersion of views and systems, I just think you've set up a structure that is almost destined to not succeed. The more lines of authority and accountability you've got, the harder it is to drive results. If you've got a more focused organization where you've got policy direction from the top, the voters overseeing it all, then operational accountability down and budget to follow. The closer the front lines are to the top deciders, I think the less of these problems you have. Not that you won't have some, but this thing got just too scattered.
You know what it sounds like to me, council member? It sounds like that the frustration behind the King County Regional Housing Authority was there before, but I don't think that there was enough votes to maybe come across it. So there were folks there that did not agree amongst the council. Now, here we are today. Now, so far, you and another one of your colleagues have been public about your opinion about this.
Yes.
What are people saying behind the scenes about this?
Gee, thanks for asking. I have been really pleasantly surprised because you never really know when you take a kind of a strong stand like this. This is not a small thing. This is a big deal. And in politics, it's sometimes good to just stay out of the news, be quiet, go along, don't rock the boat too much, right? That's the safer way. This calls for more than that. And I have gotten emails and texts and calls from current elected officials, former elected officials, people that work in the space saying, thank you, this needs to happen. It's very positive.
It's funny. We both said the same thing. We got people that we've been talking to, and they're saying the same thing.
They're saying that, like, everyone has said this has been basically a stinking fish for a while, and people didn't want to call it out. And they're happy now that this audit is finally putting it into the news and putting a lot of pressure. But going back to what you said, that there's accountability or lack of accountability. One of the things that Council President, Seattle City Council President Joy Hollingsworth told us yesterday was that she wants to bring it in-house. So she's on the same page as you. You can't have this regional homelessness authority anymore with its track record. Bring it in-house. And she said the money is handled differently within the city. Is that also the case within the county? Because you've got this other thing where Human Services had the same issue. So what's the solution?
That's right. I mean, let me say, I think 95% of our contracts and operations they have good oversight. They're done. You get some bad apples, and the brand gets tarnished. And so the timing on that, I'm going to just be honest with you, isn't great, right? Because we are the solution here is to devolve the authority back. The city of Seattle puts about $100 million a year into this thing, and what's pretty cool, I think, you see Mayor Wilson heading in a new direction on. We're going to build shelters because we can do it faster and they're more affordable than $500,000 permanent supportive housing units, which take a long time to build, cost a lot of money, cost a lot to operate. For a while, that was the primary solution. So she's changing the policy direction, and she wants to have the city dollars to go with it. She wants to be able to drive that. Same with the county. We put in about $44 million a year. We'll do the regional stuff. We won't leave Seattle entirely, but we'll work in the 38 surrounding cities and in partnership with them if this occurs. And that's what we did before. There are ways, if I can, Ursula, you open with the idea behind this was homelessness is a regional problem, needs a regional solution. We have a regional government, and that's King County. That's our role since 1968 when we formed the charter. We have structures in place. The Regional Policy Committee is chaired by Pete von Reichbauer, Federal Way. That has 3 county council members, 3 Seattle City Council members, and 3 suburban city council members. It's a forum that works to bring the region together. These kind of discussions and policies can occur there.
You're listening to the voice of King County Council Member Rod Demowski here on the Gee and Ursula Show. Homelessness is a topic that everybody talks about, not just regional, but on a national level. It's a huge topic. In your opinion, in seeing all of the things, what are we getting wrong when it comes to this?
I really appreciate the question. You know, when I came into this job, it's been 13 years now, it was one of my main motivators. I wanted to see if I could do something to, you know, help folks out. And it just, I'll tell you, it feels intractable. It just feels almost impossible at times. And you look around the country, has anybody else figured it out? Some jurisdictions doing better than others, but they've had failures in Los Angeles and Portland and San Francisco, but they're changing. I think this, and these aren't, I think working with this for some time, you've got three broad classes of folks who you see on the streets. One group, economically down for a little bit, but fully capable with a little bit of help of getting back on their feet, getting into housing, getting reemployed, getting things going. A little bit of help gets them going.
Yes.
That takes a certain kind of response, right? Get them sheltered, get them a little financial support, get them job training or whatever. Another group, mental health and substance use disorder, the behavioral health problems. Those folks need a different response. They got to have more intensive care along with the shelter. And then, this isn't maybe politically correct, but you got a third group of folks that are fully capable of working. They don't have substance use disorder. They just don't want to play by the rules. And they're taking advantage of the other folks.
Yep.
Crime, dealing, harm. That needs a different response. That needs a law enforcement response.
That's right.
And we as a compassionate community started off, I think, a decade ago, giving the same response to all of it, which was you just need shelter or housing. I think we're getting to a spot where we see those three things, and I think the region's finally coming around to a little bit more rules enforcement. No, you don't get to camp in the park. You don't get to set up in the doorstep of the business. We just can't function as a community that way.
This is King County Council Member Rod Demowski. I want to go back because one of the most frustrating things is, okay, so now this audit has uncovered this money. It's a separate thing, but now again we're talking about tens of millions of dollars. And if this agency is dissolved, what replaces it and what guardrails are put into place to not have this repeating and not basically helping to further the narrative that this is just the homelessness industrial complex and they're in it just to make money and not actually solve the problem?
Yeah, I want to say that I think there are a lot of good providers out there. You know, that's kind of our model. We as a government don't deliver direct services for the most part in this space. We don't own shelters. We contract with the Salvation Army. We contract with, say in my district, Lake City Partners Ending Homelessness runs an incredibly effective shelter on Aurora and Shoreline called the Oaks. They've got about 80 folks in there every night, and they're taking care of them. They're getting them a fresh start. So there are some real success stories out there. Sometimes they're hard to see. And I think, you know, that work continues. It's just you don't have an unnecessary layer of a government with 100 employees consuming a bunch of administrative costs and time and off doing their own policy stuff, you know, as a separate branch. So hopefully it's leaner and more direct. There isn't a perfect answer. There just isn't. But that's kind of what I see.
Rob, Councilmember, can you give those three categories again? Because I truly believe that there's a lot of people, including this Rena from Bellingham, that believe that everyone on the streets has some type of an addiction. Can you give those three groups again? I have a question.
Sure. I think there's some folks that are just temporarily down on their economic luck. Maybe it's a mom who just got divorced, lost income, needs some help through a great place like Mary's Place. Come in, we're going to take care of you, we're going to get you reconnected. There aren't the substance use issues. Then there's the behavioral health group, right, with mental illness or drug dependency challenges. That needs a different care response. And then there's the folks that can work, know what the rules are, and don't want to, right? And they don't have the behavioral health, and they're not temporarily down on their luck. They're just out there taking advantage.
And for the record, I was a part of the first group out there unhoused because of economic situations. Now, here's my next question. When are we going to get to the point where we can offer more services for people that are barely holding on, right? That are living paycheck to paycheck? Because it seems like there's less for them. So it's less of a guardrail to prevent them from becoming economically out there. When is more things going to be put in place for that person? Like, listen, I have a job, I pay rent, but rent's gone up, I'm barely making it, I got $10 at the end of the month.
2 points on that. Number one is stop wasting money on things that don't work, so we have some resources to move into that space, right? And that's what some of this is about with ending this regional homeless authority. Number two, Gee, I think you'll be happy to know there's been a good awakening around that in recent years where folks say the best money we can spend as a government is with somebody who is housed but is about to be unhoused. They're behind on the rent, they're behind on the utility bills, and $1,000 or $2,000 to get them caught up so that landlord gets paid and they're not facing eviction. That saves, as you know, all the catastrophe and the costs that go with it once my mom and her kids are out on the street or at Mary's place. It gets way more expensive. So we are shifting there, and we do fund that at the county, kind of basically in partnership with organizations like the Salvation Army. We'll get you some cash help. United Way, we'll get you some cash help to keep you housed, and that's, I think, the best dollars that we can spend. That's an easier population. I mean, the other ones are hard.
Absolutely, and some of them kind of mesh into each other as well. With the 30 seconds that we have left, what will it take for your call to dismantle the Regional Homelessness Authority? What would it take besides other members of the council saying the same thing? I mean, you've got it on the Seattle side, you've got it on the county side. What else needs to happen?
In short, it's 5 votes on the council majority and the concurrence by the executive, in our case, the mayor at the city. And then it's a process on the thing where it'll take some time to smartly and strategically wind this down and transfer operations over. The work has to continue, right? But we don't need to be running it through a separate layer of government that has very little oversight and control and has not been able to get the job done.
I know Ursula said we had 30 seconds.
We're going late.
Yeah. You know, I didn't think and I didn't believe anybody from King County Councilman would come on to our show. After Ursula and I had the conversation, Sophia reached out and you're like, yeah, I came on the show. You sat right here. You're in the hot seat. Why did you not duck these hard conversations? Why do you go on? Because some people duck them. Matter of fact, there's some folks that's ducking the Gee and Ursula show right now. and by the
Whoever
way,
that is, I don't recommend it.
Yeah.
We'll still talk.
Why do you duck it?
You guys are fair. I've listened to KIRO my whole life. I was born in Auburn. I grew up in Renton. I loved, back in the day, Dave Ross, that crusader for common sense.
Yes.
And Bill Yend and you guys are the voice of the Northwest, and you're connected to regular folks, okay? And regular folks need to hear from the folks that are working down at the government who they send there. And you're at this powerful medium. We need to be out there listening and taking feedback and taking the heat and explaining. This forum's an incredible opportunity to do it, and it's a privilege to be able to come on in your air and have a dialogue. Why wouldn't you say yes?
Well, we'll do it again. Councilmember Rod Demowski, thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Coming up next, Sophia's Agree to Disagree. Oh, Lord. Gee and Ursula.
This hour is brought to you by DUI Heroes.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T-levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
When the dollar's convertibility into gold ended in 1971, gold was fixed at $35 an ounce. Fast forward to today, and the U.S. dollar has lost over 85% of its purchasing power. Meanwhile, gold has increased in value by over 12,000%. Central banks are buying gold at record levels. Major firms are holding significant positions in gold. And I choose to buy gold from Birch Gold Group. Stan Bongino, and it all starts with education. Birch Gold just announced their Learn and Earn Precious Metals event. This free online event rewards you for learning the basics of investing in precious metals. Sign up to get free silver on your next purchase if you qualify. And you can get even larger incentives as you go. The more you learn, the more you can earn. But act now. This special event only runs through April 30th. So text my name, Dan, to the number 989898 to join Birch Gold's Learn and Earn Precious Metals event by April 30th. Text Dan to 989898 today. Message and data rates may apply.
This Mother's Day, give her something that lasts more than a single day. Take a moment with your family to start an important conversation about what's next. This is Spike O'Neill, and Aegis Living invites you to schedule a personal tour at a time that works for you to explore the beautiful communities, exceptional amenities, and the lifestyle that your mom deserves. Because the best gift is peace of mind for her and for you. When you visit the community at Aegis Living, you're going to say this must be the place, because it is. Schedule your visit today at aegisliving.com/spike. That's aegisliving.com/spike.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. This is Congresswoman Marilyn Strickland. I'm working to lower costs, grow the middle class, keep us safe, and defend our freedom. I'm also here to help you with the IRS, Social Security, Medicare, the VA, passports, and more. We've recovered over $16 million for taxpayers and look forward to helping you. Call me at 360-459-8514 or visit strickland.house.gov.
Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
Carter Subaru is Seattle's only Subaru dealer with the largest selection of Subarus in Washington. With over 800 vehicles in stock, they have exactly what you're looking for with savings you'll love. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard or anytime at cartersubaru.com.
Washington's lottery gives out a lot of green to winners in schools and retailers awesomely. Nearly 600 mil to people that play. Another 180 mil to vocational training and education from preschool to college. Now you got the knowledge, a win-win for all of us. Play Washington lottery, lottery, lottery. Play Washington lottery, lottery, yeah.
Visit wildlottery.com. Who benefits to learn more.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Jillian Raftery. A glimmer of hope as we now hear peace talks will resume this weekend between the U.S. and Iran.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says the president's envoys will take part in the talks.
The president has decided to dispatch Special Envoy Witkoff and Jared Kushner back to Islamabad. The Iranians want to talk.
Notably, Vice President J.D. Vance will not be going. He led the last round of talks in Pakistan, and the Iranians have indicated they preferred to deal with him. Leavitt says he still remains remains involved and will be on standby, and that the vice president will go only if it is determined to be a good use of his time. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
There's a federal proposal to buy Spirit Airlines, which filed for bankruptcy twice in the last 2 years.
Pan Am, which was the de facto flag carrier of the United States for decades, was allowed to go out of business. TWA was allowed to go out of business. Eastern was allowed to go out of business. The government didn't step in when much bigger carriers faced bankruptcy and liquidation.
Transportation correspondent Chris Van Cleve says the government would sell the airline once fuel prices go back down. Speaking of fuel prices, average gas prices in Washington are up a cent. That's now $5.41 on average, according to Gas Buddy. We've heard from some listeners that their local stations have jumped up a lot more. A new study finds COVID patients who suffer heart attacks face much higher mortality rates.
Many heart attacks are caused by a blood clot, but patients with COVID tend to have a lot of clots.
There's clots everywhere. So when we don't have any particular area to treat, it becomes more of a systemic problem.
Cardiologist Dr. Payam Dagani found heart attack survivors who had COVID are 25% more likely to die within a year of leaving the hospital. He suggests doctors keep a closer eye on them.
Make sure their cholesterol is on target, make sure their weight is on target, make sure they're eating, make sure their diabetes is in control, their sugars are not too high.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
FEMA is giving $21 million for long-term flood mitigation projects in Washington and Oregon. That includes about $930,000 to the city of Enumclaw for culvert design, replacement, and to reduce flooding at Newaukum Creek. Now we're going to check KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. And we are getting a lot better, starting to tick back to normal. Linwood to Bellevue, 18 minutes. Linwood to Seattle, 18 minutes. That's a breeze. Renton to Bellevue on I-5 northbound, 39 minutes. That's been the problem child all day. Federal Way to Seattle is, Renton to Bellevue on 405 northbound, 39 minutes. And Federal Way to Seattle, 43 minutes. Both have had problems from volume and crashes this morning. And there's nothing blocking. It's just whatever residual is going on. There is an issue in the city of Seattle proper. Avoid Broadway and Pine. Police are investigating after a car hit someone. This just came into the newsroom. Traffic will be shut down for an extended period of time as they investigate. This report brought to you by D.R. Horton. D.R. Horton has new homes in communities across Puget Sound and Central Washington ready for you. Visit drhorton.com, America's builder, an equal opportunity housing builder. We're going to stay sunny, 64 degrees, and mostly sunny with clouds developing early in the week, but no rain that I can see in the forecast. 54 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
It is 11:35. This is the Gee and Ursula Show. It is a fresh Friday, and it is time for Agree to Disagree, brought to you by Guardian Roofing and Gutters.
One of these days, we just got to take off the gloves. Just really go at it.
I was laughing at Ursula during the break because she was trying to find out super quickly what it was that we were going to talk about. And I was like, no,
What?
Be surprised.
Shocker. Ursula wants to find out what we're talking about.
Well, I like to be somewhat informed before I'm asked to answer a question.
I'm informing you now.
Okay.
You'll be informed in this quick 20-second synopsis. Okay. So I wanted to ask you guys: have you ever gotten a party fool, or some sort of virtual evite that you just kind of get a message from a third party sender, and you're like, okay, what is this? It has all these details about it, and you're like, okay, new event. And this is a thing that a lot of people are doing, and now because of it, there's a new scam preying on the lonely. New York Times is reporting an uptick of phishing evites. So you might think your old buddy from high school is inviting you to a retirement party, and boom, computer virus, because it's not actually an invite from your friend. And so it begs me to think about, when did everything become about these virtual evites? Do you think we've gone too far? Do we need to go back to inviting people directly, or better yet, in person? What do you think?
So in some cultures, there's a popular question that gets asked, and it sounds like this: who all gonna be there? If you know, you know.
Okay.
Right? Now, who all gonna be there? So the partyful and the Eventbrite, all these different things, it is the best way of answering the question of who all gonna be there. And so if you say, yes or no to come, if you say no to coming, then you don't find out who's on the list. But if you say yes to coming on some of these, you get to see the list. Okay, Ursula coming, +1. Oh, I wonder if she go. Oh, she's going to bring Long Live Mark. Okay, Sophia's coming. She's got 3. She probably going to bring her roommate and her roommate's boyfriend. Okay, that kind of deal. And so.
And if there are people that you're like, I'm not.
Right.
Jiving with that person,
and so
I'm going to just sit this one out.
You notice for my party?
Yes.
I'm going to tell you what I didn't want. I didn't want to have any of that.
Have any of that.
Any of that.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
You sent it directly.
It's directly.
Yeah.
What you got, Ursula?
So no one was able to check who
all going to be there.
Yeah. Although you kind of shared a little bit.
Yeah.
I actually used Evite, but unlike other events, and that's purely because of ease and convenience. Mm-hmm. But there's different options when you use Evite. You can do the free version where you have to deal with all the garbage. And for my 60th, I actually paid so that I wouldn't have to deal with.
For some reason, you and Lillian love the free version of things.
Stop. See, that's discriminatory. I know what you're alluding to. That we like to save money. Well, there are certain areas where, hey, if I can save $1, I'm going to. That's sitting in coach and using Evites. Sure. Yeah. Free Evites.
Evites.
If it's an important enough thing, I'll say I don't need to bombard everybody with their ads. But I don't look when I get Evites. I don't look to see who else coming. If I want to come, I'm going to come.
What? You don't look? True.
No,
man, I look every time. I'm the king.
If I like the invitee, if I like the host, and I want to celebrate with them, I'm going to come.
So that's the thing. It depends on the level of like and or love for the inviter, right? So the person that's doing the inviting, if on a scale of 1 to 10, you're at a 10 and how much you love them, it don't matter who all going to be there.
Yeah.
But if on a scale of 1 to 10, your like level is about a 4, 5, it definitely matter on who all. Wait. Oh, Sophia coming? No, I ain't going.
Well, it's funny you say that because I would love to hear if you guys think this is a party fool or a party foul. There's actually a party tonight that all of my friends, we were joking about it because it was a good friend of ours who was like, oh, you're all invited, and they were all, but I only heard about it because they were like, oh, you got the party fool, right? And I was like, no. And they were like, he sent it all out to all of us, and I was like, no, I didn't get the party fool.
Were you offended?
And I was like, am I not invited? He's like, no, you're invited. He was talking. He was asking if you were there. So now I'm like, oh, okay, but I didn't get the party fool. So now am I just going to show up to this party? Am I going to be crashing? Is that a party foul?
Well, if you're not doing Evite and you're doing it just direct like you did. Now, I have an event on Sunday, and I just did it directly to the group that and said, anyone who's in this group is invited to come. Please just let me know if you're showing up or not. I'm not joking when I say there are going to be people I have never met before coming to the house. However, what are other? I mean, remember the days when you used to buy the birthday party invitations for your kids? I loved that, but I have stacks and stacks still from my kids' parties.
Right. I think that another thing on this discussion is this. This is what some try to prevent. I don't want you coming to my party based on who's going to be there who's not. Because the truth is, if you are basing your attendance on who's all going to be there, then you really don't rock with me.
Well, but you said that's what you do.
Don't do as I say.
Well,
don't do as I say. No, wait.
No.
Don't do as I do.
Do as I say, not as I do. Yeah. So basically,
I'm a hypocrite.
You're being a hypocrite.
Yes.
So you're saying you're upset if people look at your invitation list and see that there are people, but you do that.
Yes.
Oh my word.
No. But I don't go to it. Wait. I don't attend someone's get together based on who's all going to be there. Here's the truth. You got a lot of people that are fake. And so they'll show up to an event. They'll be like, oh, this person is going to be there?
Social climbers. That's what you're saying.
There you go, Ursula.
But again, is it okay for you to social climb?
I don't social climb.
Oh, you just go.
I'll go based on I don't want to be there around that person.
I've changed my mind.
I'm not social climbing. But I will based on, okay, I like Sophia on a scale of 1 to 10, about a 5. And then Nick's going to be there? I ain't coming.
Yeah, a lot of people are going to be surprised today. I'm on the party fool, so if they don't like me, I'm going to be there.
They like you.
Are you, Davis in Homer County says, Gee, are you sure you're not a Republican? What did I say this week that makes me sound Republican?
Said you're not going to be there.
Invitations?
Oh, all right. Text messages, feedback, and then we'll have Ursula's words to live by. Gee Ursula.
The John Curley Show.
If by like the 15th of October rolls around and suddenly it's a bolt of lightning and I croak out right there, I'm fine.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
My dream of growing a giant pumpkin is just a couple of months away. I know somebody who knows somebody who knows a guy who knows a guy who knows someone who got me the seed, the 1,500-pounder, baby. It's in a secret location. I don't want to say where it is.
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube.
Home Comfort Alliance, a Carrier factory authorized dealer delivering efficiency, reliability, and quiet performance every time. John Curley here. Upgrade to Carrier cooling and get a heating system free. Use their 60-second price estimator at homecomfortalliance.com.
You can count on trusted local news and information from the Seattle Times, one of the few independent, locally owned news organizations in the country, right here in the Pacific Northwest. Subscribe today and don't miss a beat at seattletime.com/subscribe.
What if you could have the most reliable Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Just 5 years of fiber-powered Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most. That finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. And that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family's banking on bandwidth. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger, but your Wi-Fi? It would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity, imagine that. Select plans only. Restrictions apply. Powered by fiber. Connected to the premises by coaxial cable. Actual speeds vary.
Gas prices are at record highs. Markets are volatile. And if you're retired or close to it, I know what you're thinking. Is my plan strong enough for what's coming? Most financial plans aren't built for times like these. They're built for the good times. And that's a problem. That's why one of the Northwest's best-known retirement attorneys, Rajiv Nagayach with LifePoint Law, is personally leading seminars where you'll learn why the planning you've already done may not be enough and what a real retirement plan looks like when your healthcare, housing, legal protection, and finances all work together. No sales pitch, no obligation, just 90 minutes that could change the way you think about your future and give you the peace of mind that you won't run out of money or become a burden on your family.
Attend a free LifePoint Law retirement seminar in Puyallup on May 5th, Federal Way on May 6th, Bellevue on May 7th, or Linwood on May 12th. Seminars begin at 6:30 p.m. Seats are limited, so register now at lifepointlaw.com. That's lifepointlaw.com.
If you're over 62 and feel squeezed by rising monthly bills, listen carefully. I'm Steve Teitler, owner of Best Mortgage. Every week I talk with seniors who love their home, want to stay in it, but feel more financial pressure every month. Property taxes are adding up. Insurance is up. Everyday bills are up, and for some, they still have a mortgage payment on top of all of that. Are you worried about outliving your savings? A reverse mortgage could help by eliminating your mortgage payment, paying off debt, and giving you breathing room every month. Now, let me be clear, it's not right for everyone. But for the right person, it can be a powerful tool. When you call Best Mortgage for a free consultation, you'll talk directly with me. I'll explain your options and tell you honestly if it makes sense for your situation. If you're 62 or older and want straight answers about staying in your home with less financial stress, call me today. 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage. Honest advice you can trust. 425-649-6000.
How would you like to finally lose all those unwanted pounds quickly without spending thousands on painful injections or prescriptions? Hi, it's Donna Simpson, health and wellness expert. You probably know someone that is using Ozempic, the hottest diet craze in the country. Everyone knows about this prescription injection. Celebs use it to look their best. The problem is most of us can't afford Ozempic, and these injections can be so uncomfortable. Now you can lose the weight just as easily, but with no needles, no expensive prices, no side effects, and no worries. You need to try Lozempic, a new miracle weight loss breakthrough that performs so well it's been called nature's Ozempic. Lozempic is an easy-to-take diet pill now available without a prescription, being used by thousands to get rid of those unwanted pounds. So call now and find out how to get a free bottle.
To find out how to get your free bottle of Lozempic, call 800-605-5724, 800-605-5724. Free bottles are limited, so call 800-605-5724. That's 800-605-5724.
Get new Lake Washington windows and doors with a lifetime transferable warranty installed this year, and don't pay for them until next year. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com, a name you can trust.
With the high gas prices, now is the time to buy a hybrid or all-electric at Subaru of Puyallup. Great selection and pricing are at your stress-free dealership, SubaruofPuyallup.com.
Nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all. Sound like your home? Then call for your free inspection.
InsulationNorthwest.com.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales event going on right now through Sunday, May 3rd. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales event going on right now. Discover the D.R. Horton difference. Visit drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
Okay. Happy Fresh Fridays is Gee and Ursula. Now, look, before the professionals get to the text messages, I just want to address a couple specific text messages to me. Sandy in Olympia says, Gee, give me a break. Not a social climber? What about your fancy new gym? To which I say, okay, Sandy.
Touche.
You got me on that one.
That's when you hit with the,
Yeah. And then Brant in the 360 says, we all know that G is going to have the bougie answer of anybody. Did I hear G say, I'm not a social climber? We all know that that's total BS. Hey, Brant. Okay. Okay. You guys win. Maybe I am a bit of a social climber.
I love it. See, you can admit these things.
Yeah. I mean, when you listen to the show, and like, you know, you got Sandy talking about, well, what about your new gym? To which I'm like,
well, and then you also said that you don't like it when people look to see
who all gonna be there.
Who's gonna be there?
Yeah.
Yet that's exactly what you do.
All right. I'm cooked.
It's a Friday.
I'm cooked.
If G's going to be outside of his house past 6 p.m., he needs to know who's going to be there.
This is true.
Sophia, that is one of the, you know me. You get me.
Okay. I'm going to have another work party.
Yeah.
This summer.
What day is it on?
I'm going to make sure it's a day that you're not working on the weekend.
Okay.
Well, make sure to show him the Evi with everyone's names.
Oh. No, I don't. I mean, I don't worry about that.
No.
Now, is it a Saturday or a Sunday?
I'll probably make it a Sunday.
Make it an afternoon.
Yes, I'm going to make it an afternoon.
Now, okay. Now we're talking.
Yes.
Afternoon.
Yes, because I think we ought to get together outside of work. Okay, on the interview with the King County Elections Director, I've got to tell you, she was on fire today. That was the most passionate I've ever heard her on our station.
Yeah.
And if you missed it, listen to our podcast because she came in with facts. Peter in Port Orchard says, it sounds like state party chair, GOP party chair, Jim Walsh is trying to start trouble where it doesn't exist. I would think that Republicans could devise a better strategy to win statewide elections. Can I add to that? Which one of the things that I wish they would focus on is coming up with better candidates. Coming up with a lot better candidates. So that there are better options. For example,
Lauren Colt?
Not Lauren Colt. Yeah.
Or if you've got people supporting the party supporting Semi Bird when you've got Dave Reichert in the race. That was a head scratcher. Okay, let's talk. Kirk in Mount Vernon says, if I leave my voter packet on my countertop past the date of the election, how is that fraud? I mean, I see this being very similar. Not exactly, but very close, though. If these were counted, ballots are opened, that would be different. But if these are actually unopened and not delivered, how is that fraud? Well, that was one of the points.
Nobody has ever done that, left their voter pamphlets on the counter after the election. Nobody's ever done that.
Yeah, I think he's trying to point out that the party chair was trying to make a mountain out of a molehill. Keith and Roberta in the 425 say, so wonderful to hear a fact-based presentation of mail-in voting in our state. So happy she wasn't afraid of calling out the cheap and dangerous and irresponsible ploy that Representative Jim Walsh pulled.
Does that mean Keith and Roberta both listen at the same time?
I know. I don't know how to... Yes.
Like, who are we talking to, Keith? Are we talking to Keith or are we talking to Roberta?
Both.
Are we talking to Keith
they
and
talk
Roberta?
Collectively.
Do you think they're
and they are regular listeners?
Do you think they're like chatting with each other? They're
Yes,
like,
they
write that
are.
down, write that down.
I know for a fact that they are. You know how some couples, though, have been together for so long that they can speak for each other and they just like, yeah, it's two of us. Okay, you and I... We don't know that.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
No,
that.
I've got my own voice. He has his.
Yes.
Okay.
Time for words to live by. Ursula, what you got?
I'm going to actually quote Meryl Streep. I love it.
Meryl.
The great gift of human beings is that we have the power of empathy, and we can all sense a mysterious connection to each other, regardless of what.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. We're connected.
Right.
That's why you said you're going to stay in this country and fight. Fight.
That's right.
We're always trying to make it better.
Joni in 253 says about being a social climber, just go ahead and own it, G.
There you go. I think
you know
you
what?
did.
You know what, Joni? I did.
It's a part of you, man.
Nick!
Well, audits in the county are exposing lots of grief while the Homelessness Authority starts some meetings with this beef. And the scandals just continue for folks acting like some monkeys as the Patriots head coach affair is smelling kind of funky. But we try to keep it pure and decent with stories we preach, disregarding that one time G wore a Speedo at the beach. After that, people might see G on them e-bite list and say, oh, hell no, I ain't got time for that. The jig is up with him.
Oh, wait a minute, Ursula.
Yes?
Keith and Roberta in the 425 just text back. They
What'd
said,
they say?
we listen together.
And I love that.
Now,
and,
okay.
You know, and they are so encouraging every day.
Okay. To me, I'm assuming they're retired or maybe they work from home. But if you're going to retire, I think the best is to retire together. Because if one is going to work and one's just sleeping, you know what I mean? What you think, Ursula?
Mark, if you're listening, I'm okay with you continuing to work. And I say that because he wants to.
He wants to keep working?
Yeah, he wants to continue like years and years and years and years and years and years.
You and Honey going to be gone. Traveling.
You know what? I've got years still.
All right, Ursula, good show. Talk to you on Monday. Have a great weekend.
You too.
What you doing this weekend, Sophia?
I'm going to be enjoying the sunshine. That's
okay,
for
good.
sure.
Make sure you text your dad back. Hey, Nick, thanks, man.
You too, man.
The Jake and Spike Show, they're coming in next. Appreciate you for listening. Love you for that. And as always, be kind.
Hope you have as much fun as we have. So long, everybody.
Join in on the conversation by sending a text to 888-973-5476. That's 888-973-KIRO.
Major financial decisions deserve education, not pressure. Madrona Financial and CPAs host live seminars and online webinars throughout the year to help you make informed, confident choices. Their tax return treasure hunt discusses how to uncover planning opportunities potentially hidden inside your own tax return. Growing her wealth addresses the financial transitions many women face and how to prepare for them thoughtfully and confidently. Beyond the Numbers introduces a framework for building a comprehensive financial plan while helping connect your finances to your goals, priorities, and the life you want to design. And Landlord Exit Strategies takes a clear look at whether holding, selling, or restructuring your rental properties makes sense long term. You can attend in person or join online from home. To see the full schedule, visit madronafinancial.com/events or call 833-673-7373. Madrona Financial and CPAs, where informed planning starts.
Hey, John, why don't you tell everybody why you started going to Longevity Medical Clinic?
No, I don't want to do that. I can tell you, I started going to Longevity Medical Clinic before I started doing these commercials, but that why I went is not important.
Oh, it absolutely is.
Okay. I'll tell you. I was a Sammamish City Council member, and whenever they had asked me to do the Pledge of Allegiance, I couldn't make it through the whole thing without crying. I know, it's so dumb. I mean, I know I'm patriotic, but what the heck? So I go into Longevity Medical Clinic, and I explain this to them, that there's something wrong with my hormones or something, and they see the testosterone and the estrogen are all out of balance. We balance all that stuff, and I can do the Pledge of Allegiance without crying. But I've also noticed that I deal with stress a lot better, don't I?
Yes, you're a lot easier to live with because you're getting more sleep, you have more energy, you're better organized, and I'm not helping you look for your car keys every morning.
Right, because now I've taken the steps to take care of my mind and body. I strongly recommend anybody get the free health analysis at lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
Underestimating the trucking industry is one of the biggest mistakes I see victims and other lawyers make. Trucking companies have an army of lawyers and experts who act quickly after an accident to protect the company. Only an experienced trucking accident lawyer can navigate the complicated federal and state laws to protect your rights. If you or a loved one has been injured in a trucking accident, call Davis Law Group today for a free consultation or get my free book on trucking accident law at washingtonaccidentbooks.com.
Epic parties start at Staples. Now you can grab Party City balloons, decorations, and tableware, plus matching custom invites, banners, and more right at Staples. That was easy.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
In today's fast-moving job market, staying ahead means keeping your skills sharp. At University of Maryland Global Campus, we help keep your capabilities cutting edge with our skills-based education programs designed